scientist based in Canada, I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Two, check. Hello. I'm wearing the same shirt but in green. Hell yeah. We're all matching now. We got to turn these into jumpsuits eventually, and then we can really get rolling here. If we all just have jumpsuits with just this on like the breast or whatever, or on the sleeve. Now we're talking. Hey, Slightly Tethered, thank you very much for the 9 months of Tier 1. Thanks, Slightly Tethered. Hell yeah, jumpsuits. Patches are a good idea, that is true. When we have the compound eventually, we're going to be going full jumpsuits. Okay? Just so you're ready for this. Yeah, it is very Dharma Initiative. Yeah. It is. Is that? Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there eventually. You know what else would be cool? Bomber jackets. Bomber jackets with some patches on there. That would be cool. That'd be something cool we could do as like a group. Imagine we show up en masse somewhere and we all got matching bomber jackets on. No one would want to fuck with us. No one would want to fuck with us. I'd be like, just give these people whatever they want. I don't care. I don't care what it is. Look at these people. Look at how dangerous this is. It means instantly a dangerous situation. That's what that reaction would have. Bomber jackets in 6 shades. You know that we would have 6 shades. I'm wearing these shorts also. This is my fit today. Just imagine we all show up somewhere in bomber jackets and like shades like this. We would like to overthrow capitalism, please. And they're just like, whatever you want. Just please leave us alone. Please don't hurt us. Yes, it is a 5-inch inseam. Yes, it is. I'm going to crack open my Diet Coke now. Very thirsty. So, folks, listen, you're going to be proud of me. Okay? Are you ready to be proud of me? You all remember that when I was on the call yesterday with the tire people, because I needed new tires, I went through the whole saga of the tires and the winter tires. Yesterday, we don't need to relitigate that. We don't need to relitigate all the tire business, but I did this morning. I almost put it off. I was really weighing the idea of putting it off, but I was like, no, I am going to go. I'm going to go to the tire place. So I got up, I made my kid lunch. I got him ready to go to camp. I went and dropped him off at camp. I realized that I forgot his water bottle, so I returned to the camp. I brought that, went home, and we got in the car and drove down to the tire place. I went to the tire place, and they had actually a appointment available when I went down there. So not only did I go and sort out my situation for the new tires and make an appointment, I literally I purchased the new tires and had them installed on my car. So that task is finished. That task that I've been putting off for like months now, that task is finished. I have the summer tires now. They're brand new. I purchased some brand new tires. It was kind of painful, but I had to do it. So not only did I make the appointment, I made the appointment, I purchased the tires, I saw through the appointment, and now it's finished. Now I don't have to think about it anymore. Chin chin. We stand a productive king getting shit done. Thank you, Fart Party 69. 3 subs for the tires. Thank you, Alana. Thank you very much, Alana, for the 3 subs. I love to be rewarded from my friends, the friends on my computer screen. The friends on my computer screen who hold me accountable for like going through with the basic things that I have to do in my life. And just fulfilling these basic tasks that I'm supposed to do. I'm so happy to have friends in the computer screen to encourage me to do this. The friends that pay you. That's right. That's exactly right, Dakadude. But I pay them back in content. You see? It's a two-way street. Thank you very much, Comrade Social Distancing, for the 2 gifted subs as well. Thank you, Comrade Social Distancing. So someone mentioned my hair. Speaking of putting off things that would take 2 minutes to do, I should really pay rent this month. You should probably do that. Yeah, you probably should do that. Fart Party said the hair is looking really good. Thank you, Fart Party 69. It's because, like, honestly, when I don't shower, when I do not shower or wash my hair, it looks good. I was going to take a shower before I did this stream, but I got back right at noon and just sat. I put on, this shirt was in the mail. This shirt just arrived in the mail. I got home, I put on my new shirt, I started the stream, and here I am. When you get the tires replaced, is that retirement? Oh my gosh, tiniest boop. Oh my goodness. Stinky Rob stream. I I don't think I'm that stinky. I'm not really a stinky person. You know? It's probably better to shower, definitely. It's not that it's great. It's not like it's a great situation over here. If it was really bad, though, I would have carved out some time to do this. I'm a pretty good smelling guy. What can I tell you? I mean, if I'm going to not shower for longer than this, then we're going to get into tricky territory, certainly. Right? I don't want to overstate anything here. It's probably better to shower, yeah. Rob's going to do the thing that weirdo in Costa Rica does. No soap, no shampoo, no toothpaste, just natural water and eat raw meat. Yeah, just eat like raw bison testicle and don't use any kind of products or deodorant or soap or anything like that. That's going to be my new thing. That is going to be my new routine. So you folks like that? You think it was the orange was a good color choice? Absolutely no seed oils. Of course, Solana, of course. I didn't even think I needed to say that about the seed oils. Obviously, you all understand that already. I don't fuck around with any of that stuff. I'm sure you all get that already. Is everything okay, babe? You barely touched your raw bison testicle. Drinking raw Diet Coke from the tree, that's right. Like as God intended, as nature intended. That's going to be one funny, funky jumpsuit for shunning showering at the compound. I wouldn't say shunning fart party. Probably, in all honesty, just for future like environmental considerations, we're going to have to talk about scaling back a little. I wouldn't say shunning is the word that I would use. Orange absolutely kicks ass, and it's also a tribute to WCW Luchador Halloween. It's funny. I wasn't thinking about that, but that is true. It is a stunning tribute to WCW Luchador Halloween. I also have those 5-inch inseam shorts that are like the same color. Like I could theoretically wear this shirt and have matching 5-inch inseam shorts. That's theoretically something that I could do. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but like if I wanted to, I could. That I do have that option. It is almost a jumpsuit. And I have a big version because I have my blue TRRS hoodie, and I do have like jogging pants with the yellow stripe down the side. That's the blue is the exact same color. So I could do like I have a summer onesie and a winter onesie. TRRS themed. Can 5-inch inseams still work for a jumpsuit? I'm going to say yes. We could have sleeveless jumpsuits with 5-inch inseams for the summer. What about that? What about that? Sleeveless hear me out here. Hear me out. Sleeveless jumpsuit. 5-inch inseam. Isn't that a romper? Yeah, I guess it would be. I guess that would be a romper.
Count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Bojo lost his mojo.
Stu, thanks. 1 entire year of tier 1 from Stu. Thank you so much, Stu. Actually, no, sorry, 12-month streak. 17 months of tier 1 from Left Hand Stu. Thank you, Left Hand Stu. Bojo lost his mojo. Very unfortunate. Has Big Ben bonged for Boris? Did he meet with the Queen then? Well, I guess the Queen was activated. The Queen was activated, and then he finally... Yesterday it looked like he was going to be trying to stick around at all costs. Then the queen was activated. And now he's gone. The queen activated her and she went full like spider mode. It's like on her back hind legs like that. She chased after him. She chased after, as is British custom. As is British custom, she chased him out of number 8 like that, and he ran into the night, into the foggy London evening, with the queen chasing after him like that. Wouldn't that be scary? Oh my gosh, that'd be really scary. She was so mad she just tore the wires right out of the wall instead of unplugging properly. Yeah. Hey Sean, by the way, thank you for the raid. I hope the pre-show is good. Thank you, Sean. Oh, bruv, you got a license for that robotic spider queen? Have you got a license for that robotic spider queen? Have you? Oh man. Uh-oh. Sometimes I touch it. Okay, that'll have to do. Okay. I thought I was going to get some work done and not hang out on Twitch, Twitter all day, but them's the breaks. Sometimes you just have to give in. River and Ravens. Sometimes you just have to give in. You know, I saw a great quote the other day, and now I can't remember who said it. I don't know if it was from, like... I think it might have been from Taika Waititi, the filmmaker. I'm trying to remember now. Where he was just like, some days writing is just staring at a blank page all day and feeling sad and depressed. And just closing the computer eventually, without having accomplished anything. Then that still counts as writing. I liked that. I can't stop watching this B-Man stoked about fruit. Okay, let's check this out. This seems like good content. Thanks, Marina. Thanks for dropping this off. Marina, what do you think of my shirt? New merch drop.
देखिए भाई की कटिंग करने की स्टाइल मैं आपको दिखा दूं.
This guy loves fruit. I love watermelon too. Yeah, Lodane.
क्या बात है. चलता है. इस तरीके से फ्रूट सेल करते हैं.
That watermelon does look good. It's making me excited too. Rob, we both like melons. That's right. Absolutely. Big fan of melons. I just start shrieking like that as well when I'm surrounded by them. That's how you sell fruit. He's so pumped. This man loves fruit. And he should. Fruit is delicious. I'm buying watermelon this week because of this guide. I'm sure it'll be disappointing in comparison. I've been buying a lot of watermelon lately. And it's tremendous. On a hot summer day, you get that out of the fridge, nice and cold. A cold, juicy watermelon. That's good stuff. If I tried to bounce a watermelon off my bicep like that, it would snap in half. What, the watermelon or your bicep? Same as me as well, though. I'm just way too strong to be doing stuff like that. My muscles are just like way too ripped. So it would just be a huge problem if I were to try to do that. I cut and pack fruit for a living. Yeah, I would like to. One who reads, I would be wondering if you're this enthusiastic about this. You need to be carrying in some of this energy into that. And now we got a cop evading super bro.
Don't do it, man. It's not worth it.
It was pretty dangerous.
Buddy, don't do it. Don't. Bro, I got you.
At that point, you should just let the guy go. They got him. At that point, you should just let him go. My at-work demeanor is decidedly more reserved than that fellow's, and that's fair. It would be hard to keep up that level of intensity over a long period of time. Oh, that's good stuff. That is good stuff. Resisting arrest shouldn't really be a crime. Yeah, it should be like, if you get away, then you that's it. I think it's a little bit cheap when you get away and then they track you down and come to your house later. I think if they can't chase you down on foot, then you deserve you should not have to have a trial. Right? Our legal system is all tied up already with all kinds of people. If you just set this baseline standard, if you can get away on foot, then you're free to go. All of a sudden, it totally opens up the whole court system. Let people decide. Let people decide. If you can win a foot race against a police officer, you're free to go. Who says no? So we get supervillain Usain Bolt, and I'm here for it. I mean, if you rob a bank and you can just run away, you deserve the money more than the bank's fine. The banks are insured. They don't care. You had to work hard to get to be that fast, so you should get a reward for that. If I'm guilty, why am I so fast? That's right. Think of all the opportunities our cross-country athletes will get with this. Exactly. If you want to get the nation to be physically healthier, right? You want to encourage people to exercise. You don't need this nanny state mandatory vegetable liberalism. You just say that, listen, if you're in shape and you can outrun a police officer, you're free to go. You're innocent of whatever crime you're being accused of. It's going to have profound health impacts on the entire country. I want it to be like avoiding the sentinels in No Man's Sky. Dig a hole and hide in it. You're safe and innocent. Easy. Have you been keeping that up, Outrun? I was in No Man's Sky zone for a little while and then I lost it. I can only keep one video game in my head at one time. I can't have more than one game at a time. I moved away from Fortnite and I got into No Man's Sky for a bit and now I'm back on the Fortnite grind and I can't do anything else. I'm not interested in doing anything else. But they will just shoot you in the back. That does seem to be a hole in the logic of this plan that I'm putting together here, now that you mention that. Now that you mention that, that does seem like a... I guess you probably want to take away the cops' guns as well, as part of this. Should we check in on Bojo? Should we check in on our friend Bojo? Is that what we're doing over here? Are we going to check in on Bojo, innit? You mean Bozo? Bojo the Bozo has lost his bloody mojo. Innit? He's a bloody wanker. A right banger, that jape. I don't know. Is that? Did you just make up that terminology? That's slang that I'm not even sure about. I know a banger. A banger is like a sausage. Like when you have bangers and mash, that's sausages and mashed potatoes. And a jape is like a joke. I was mixing and matching slang. Okay, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. In fact, the Democratic People's Republic of Momo is ready for the community thanks to Masa. Too many of y'all have not visited. I'm sorry, Arun. I'm telling you, I can only keep one game in my head at a time. I really can't. To be honest, I make up a lot of things I say as a matter of fact. It passes the time. And if you say it with confidence, people just believe you. No one knows this better than me. No one has learned this better than me. If you just say it with conviction, no one will question you. They're just like, this guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. This is really what I've learned about wanting to work in media, because you realize that that's what all these media guys are doing. All these like experts, these like pundits and experts and stuff. They just say things with conviction. It sounds like they know what they're talking about, so they get put on TV. And even if they're like catastrophically wrong about every single thing that they ever say, every prediction, 100% opposite, it doesn't matter. They just show up to work the next day, and then they keep doing the same thing. They have the same level of confidence in all their declarations. And no amount of failure or mistakes will shake them on that. That's something we should all learn from. It's certainly something I've learned from. Trick people into thinking that you know what you're talking about. Don't admit mistakes. Act with confidence even if you don't know what you're doing. The sports guys too. This is exactly the same phenomenon, yes. Easy. Easy peasy. Actually, I think for you, Rob, is how you say things with no affect, like that MS-13 reply. For some reason that drives Chuds insane. It makes them take you so seriously. Yeah. It can be a blessing and a curse in some cases. It can be a blessing and a curse. It's kind of just a cishet white guy thing. That's true. Yeah. That's right. But I use this power for good, though. This is the difference. I use this power for good and not for evil. So that's why I'm one of the good ones. Next, the Parliamentary Committee on Japes has to trigger the Queen's tiddlywinks, and if a quorum of Tory whibs and wobs votes for his resignation, then everyone has to race to the Tower, to London, and fight a birth eater, and the winner is the new PM. That sounds about right. That sounds about right to me. I can imagine Rob giving a compliment and no one knowing if it's sincere or not. When I give compliments, I'm always sincere. Breaking, Rob just got sacked as Level Up Minister. That's right. I like saying things or people have been sacked. We should make an announcement, if it's not totally clear, that Ken Klippenstein has been sacked as a peripheral member of the Insurgents podcast. Level Up Ministers are in charge of grinding Bojo's battle pass, innit? You're the Level Up Minister. That's the amazing thing about all these stories coming out and like all the resignations and stuff. And I was joking around about it last night. Sacked. Yeah. It's just all the names, not just the names and the cabinet positions. It comes out and it's like really like it's impossible to determine whether it's real or whether someone's just making it up. Whether someone's just having a laugh. It's impossible. I mean, with mine, you could tell because it was so ridiculous, but a lot of the time you read these names and it's like Edgar Periwinkle has resigned as Lord of Piddlypups. And you're just like, surely that's made up. Surely someone just made that up. And you look into it, it's like, oh no, that's an official BBC link. That's a real thing. They made him hand in his top hat and monocle. Those responsible for sacking the people who have just been sacked have been sacked. Rutger Horschmibble, the Minister of Steak Pies, has been sacked. Lord Benedict Scromet III of Wellies on the Feet. Lord Nance Hitlergood is an all-timer. That was a good one. Lord Nance Hitlergood. Lord Nance Hitlergood, Minister of Anti-Semitism Determinations. He's the one in the Parliament who determines who is and who is not anti-Semitic. Lord Nance Hitlergood. Johnson Grab Fanny Smithwick has resigned as Minister of Wikifeet. It's like when I was on the tube and they were like, next stop, Cocks upon Quaint Bottom. The one I always remember is Cockfosters, the tube stop in London. Always remember that one. Someone posted an AI-generated list of Tory MP names yesterday. It was spot on. Yeah. Oi, meet me down at the Cockfosters tube stop for a pint, innit? What about a Scottish guy in London? You could do that as well. Meet me down at Cockfosters. Meet me down at Cockfosters for a pint of iron brew. Now you're mixing and matching. Now you're mixing and matching the different cultures. I am heading down to Cockfosters. Getting some breakfast at Cockfosters tube stop. Their entire cabinet is fucking mingy. Now I'm mixing it up with all kinds of stuff here. This is getting out of control. The Welsh literally doesn't make any sense. A place will just be called Wiviv. That's the thing. I support the Welsh. I support I absolutely support Welsh independence. These people have to get some vowels though. Come on. And they should be studying and speaking and using and keeping alive their traditional language. Absolutely. Just get a couple more vowels in there though. Come on. Come on now. Get some more vowels. Preston G. Wales yearns for vowels.
We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Guess we're all pouring beer out for Comrade Boris today.
Aye. We're pouring a pint out for our fallen friend, Boris. Boris is bloody minging, innit? Oh my god, it's just, I could just do this the whole day. I could do this the whole entire day. Chameleonic, thank you, James. I know you appreciate. I know you're one of the few community members, the few faithful community members who does appreciate my indeed chameleonic skill of mimicking other accents and cultures. The accents are 10 out of 10 today. Thank you, Alana. Thank you. Alana, you're British, aren't you? Am I? Is that a mistake? Am I mistaken? I think you are. So Alana would know if that is true. In which case, I'm not. If it's not true, then just forget everything that I just said. No, I'm not British. What the fuck? Oh my god! Why did I think you were British? I'm so sorry. I don't know why I thought that. Let's just take it back. Let's just roll back. Alana's already gifted subs here, and I'm just insulting her now. I'm just insulting Alana now. I'm negging people, like generous members of the community. I'm negging members of the community that donate to the channel. Aren't we all a little bit British? Well, speak for yourself, Damboxes. I'm both French and Scottish, so I'm the opposite of British. I couldn't be less British if I tried. I'm a little bit rock and roll. Thank you. I'm sorry, Alana. Why did I think that? I think it might be your fault. Not to like victim blame. I think it might be your fault though. Please tell me you've seen this. What is this here? Oh, this. I heard about this, but I'm glad you sent it because it's good for the Britain update segment. Wait, hold on. Let me put together a brief. I'm just going to put together a very, very brief. A very, very brief introduction to this segment. Okay? It'll just take one moment. Okay, sorry, just one sec. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, that's the introduction to the Britain update. Ah, whoa, hey, whoa, no, okay. Hugh Grant tweeted a request at activists protesting outside Westminster to play the Benny Hill theme on their loudspeakers. When they did, it became the soundtrack for street interviews with leading Tories trying to explain the situation to the British people.
We need to make sure that we keep the basic functions of government going. That's really important. There are, for example, no ministers in DfE at the moment. That needs to be sorted out. Secondly, I think we need to try and select a new leader as quickly as we reasonably can. And obviously, we need to make sure we make the correct choice, but we should do it in a reasonably quick time. In terms of Boris staying on, the convention is that the outgoing Prime Minister does carry on. That's what happened when Theresa May left office, is what happened when David Cameron left office. And given that, as we just a couple of things. Firstly, we need to make
as quickly. Oh shit, the song is doing this to him. Yeah. That is good. You can hear it at the end of Bojo's statement. Let's hear from Bojo. We want to hear from Bojo. I don't even want to read. I'm sure if you click on the comments to this very reasonable Jeremy Corbyn tweet, Johnson is the third PM to fall in 6 years because there's no solution to the deep economic and environmental crisis we face that picks our pockets and steals our future. Real change isn't a new Tory PM, but a new politics to redistribute wealth and power. And I'm going to go ahead and click like on that and not read any of the comments. I'm going to not read any of the comments about that. Where's Bojo? Here's some cat content. That's good too.
Look at this. Cat shot.
This is the new Prime Minister of England.
Have you asked him to resign, Larry?
This is only 42 seconds. Do you have a longer version? We have a longer version of Bojo.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Here's the man himself.
Good afternoon. Thank you. It is clearly now the will of the Parliamentary Conservative Party that there should be a new leader of that party and therefore a new Prime Minister. And I've agreed with Sir Graham Brady, the chairman of our backbench MPs, that the process of choosing that new leader should begin now. And the timetable will be announced next week. And I've today appointed a cabinet to serve, as I will, until a new leader is in place. So I want to say to the millions of people who voted for us in 2019, many of them voting Conservative for the first time, thank you for that incredible mandate, the biggest Conservative majority since 1987, the biggest share of the vote since 1979. And the reason I have fought so hard in the last few days to continue to deliver that mandate in person was not just because I wanted to do so, but because I felt it was my job, my duty, my obligation to you to continue to do what we
Pack
promised
watch.
in 2019.
R.I.P.
Of course,
Bozo.
I'm immensely proud of the achievements of this government, from getting Brexit done to settling our relations with the continent for over half a century, reclaiming the power for this country to make its own laws in Parliament, getting us all through the pandemic, delivering the fastest vaccine rollout in Europe, the fastest exit from lockdown, and in the last few months, leading the West in standing up to Putin's aggression in Ukraine. And let me say now to the people of Ukraine that I know that we in the UK will continue.
Haven't the people of Ukraine been through enough?
For freedom for as long as it takes. And
haven't these people been through enough, sir?
in this country, we've been pushing forward a vast program of investment.
I'm still back, Boris. Me too. I agree.
Technology, the biggest in a century, because if I have one insight into human beings, it is that genius and talent and enthusiasm and imagination are evenly distributed throughout the population, but opportunity is not. And that's why we must keep...
I'm still back Boris as well, frankly. Because listen, this man is awful. He's a monster, obviously. I think it's better when these conservative movements are at least led by these like blubbering oafs like this. These like incompetent blubbering oafs. Like at least if there's going to be fucking, you know, conservatives with just an iron grip on power, like across the entire West, in the United States, Canada, Britain, Western Europe, at least they can be like entertaining, silly men, you know? Give us that at least. The blubbery oaf thing was a grift, though. Well, that is true. I mean, part of it is an affect as well. Like that, there's a whole tradition of that in British politics, right? I think so. There's a lot of ridiculous people. There's a lot of ridiculous, cartoonish people like that. What is that guy, that Tory guy with the long hair? What is with that guy? With the big... He's got even crazier hair than Bojo. Like, what is that? No one can take this seriously. No one can convince me that these people aren't, like, in on that. At least Donald Trump was funny. We got Pierre the Wood Nerd as our new fascist PM. Yeah, we got the wood nerd fascist coming. Pierre would be funny on a number of other levels, though, because he's such a fucking loser, though. He's just an obvious nerd and loser. That's kind of funny as well at the same time, but on a different level. And Finstigator said a few minutes ago, I've seen Canadian Tories calling for the Liberals to kick Trudeau out in similar fashion. Think it'll work. It's interesting because, like, Trudeau has been through a number of big scandals himself. Like, it's actually quite surprising that he is still there. With the number of different scandals that have blown up right in his face. This guy is like Mr. Captain Invincible. I don't know what, Captain Teflon. Trudeau is like one of these Trump guys that could murder someone in the middle of Bay Street and just no one would fucking care. Doesn't it kind of feel like that? I'm surprised the Liberals haven't tried to get rid of him, but people love this guy. I'm actually scared of who might take over. Well, that's always the scary thing, right, Sam? It's like losing the incompetent oaf fascist just opens up the possibility for a competent fascist. That's always been the nightmare scenario about Trump. That's exactly why people didn't want to nominate Biden in the first place, because you're like, Biden's going to get in there, blow it, and open the door for an actual competent Trump to get in there next. You know, that's always the dangerous thing. The Labour Party, which is anti-Labour, has exactly nothing to offer. And I talked about this yesterday, Sam. I don't know if you were around for yesterday's stream when this came up, but that's what I was saying, is that like the whole Labour Party strategy under Starmer has just been to stay out of the way, let the Tories implode, purge the left and purge any of the radical extremism of the Corbyn years, and just go back to being the neoliberal Blairite Tory light party that's competent. And then when they inevitably fuck everything up, you're just there to pick up the pieces. But I actually don't think it would work. Like I don't think Starmer will win an election against the Tory party, even with this strategy of appearing to be like the more competent neoliberal party, essentially. Even if it was Johnson running himself, I literally think in an election between Starmer and Johnson, even now, Johnson would probably win. But that's the amazing thing. Even with that strategy of the Labour Party of trying to just like hang back and allow the Tories to implode and then pick up the pieces, I still don't think, even though that has happened, I still don't expect that they'll be able to pick up the pieces. Sideline anyone who has any kind of socialist sympathies and offer a policy slate that doesn't deviate from the consensus. Sam, it's like, even, and we've talked about how like Corbyn, you know, as much as we might love Corbyn, was just too nice in many ways. We talked about the mistakes that Corbyn made. Like, we've talked about this on the show and elsewhere, but I would like Corbyn to like run for something or start a new party just because of the way that Corbyn's still, he's been gone now for 2 fucking years, almost 3 years. And he still just lives in these people's heads rent free. They cannot stop talking about him. Even when he's sidelined, they still just hate him so much. Just because he got close to exposing their whole fucking con game. And because he came so close to actually like meaningfully altering the direction of the country in a more equitable direction. He came slightly close to actually challenging power meaningfully, and they'll never forgive him for it. They can't stop talking about this guy. Even when one of the people that was like resigning from Johnson's party today was like, oh, he kept a dangerous anti-Semite out of number 10 or whatever. It's like, they can't help it. They hate this guy so much. And I hope, just even if Corbyn's not the guy, even if he's not mean enough, you know, we want Corbyn to be like fucking, we want him to be British Chavez or something. And I don't think Corbyn is ever going to be British Chavez. But they just on the level that like these people hate him so much, and if he were to run for something or start a new party, it would make people so mad that I would support it just on that level. Just on that level. They would get so mad. So just for that reason alone, he should do it. When he actually had, and I say this often, Sam, right? When he actually had a grip on the party, he should have purged the fuck out of all these centrist lickspittles. And that's the number one, if anyone that was paying attention to Corbyn and the Corbyn project, that should be the number one takeaway. In one of these hypothetical scenarios where you can take over one of these big neoliberal parties, which Corbyn did do. You know, we talk about it like it's impossible, but Corbyn proved that it is possible. But when you do, the moment after, you have to be fucking ruthless. Ruthless. And you've got to purge anyone, figure out who is against you, who's your enemy, get rid of them immediately, day one. Day one. And when they go in the media and go, ooh, he's doing Stalinist purges. Oh no. When they run to the media and do that, and you just say, yes, I am. Yes, I am doing Stalinist purges. Go away. You're not wanted. Not needed or wanted. Goodbye. That's got to be the lesson, because he tried. This has been coming up a lot lately. We talked about it with Bernie yesterday. Both of these guys, Corbyn and Sanders, we always get lectured, right? I was on talking about this yesterday. We're always getting lectured about how to make change. They said, don't just complain. Don't just complain. Don't just protest. Vote. Organize. Run for something. Don't just complain. Don't just take part in the system. Both these guys did everything that they were told. They worked within the system. They worked within these big institutions. They organized. They got people to vote for them and campaign. And all these people that lecture us about voting and how to make change, when people that were like actually threatening to the way power works in our society, they're like, whoa, not these guys though. You're not allowed to do it with these guys. And you have these exact people that love to lecture everyone about how to make change and to vote, were deliberately like throwing their bodies on the tracks in their own party, sabotaging their own party so that it wouldn't win, so that this kind of political vision would not take hold. So listen, that was the lesson. That was the takeaway. Both of these guys tried to do everything right. They tried to do it exactly how we get told to. They worked within the system. They did everything that they were supposed to, and they both got fucking shanked in the kidney from behind by people that are supposed to be their friends, people that claim to be their allies. So if you're part of our generation that watched that take place, that should be the lesson. Okay, that's what happens when you do work within the system. That's what happens when you do play by these people's rules. It turns out it's exactly like internationally, the rules-based international order, What are these rules? Who has to follow these rules? Who's allowed to follow them and not follow them? Well, they decide that, actually. That's not like some objective thing. They decide that. That's our takeaway. So if that is one of the sort of avenues for possible political change that people advocate for, taking over these big neoliberal parties, whether it's the Democratic Party or the NDP or the Labour Party, that's got to be the lesson. Find the people that are going to be working against you. Day one, gone immediately, and no more apologizing, no more trying to make everyone happy. Don't trust the liberals. They'll betray you. And the lesson was clear back then, but if it wasn't clear back then, 100 years ago, we should have learned this lesson now, just with our own eyes and our own ability to watch these events play out. There should be no confusion about this. Purged. And when they go, no, you can't purge me, no. Purged. Purged. That's our lesson from this. If we can learn one lesson, we got to go through these people. We can't work with them. Can't work with them. You got to go through them. And when they cry and complain and smear you, that means that you're doing good and you need to continue. It doesn't mean like, oh no, now we have to apologize and now we have to try and be contrite and whatever. No, that means when they start doing that, that is the signal that you're on the right path and you need to continue doing exactly what you're doing. You can't just purge people who disagree with you. Purged. This is what I'm saying. Big fan of purges. Well, as Starmer immediately showed, they don't actually care. Starmer purged people. Of course they purged anyone that was like part of Corbyn's inner circle, anyone that was like nominally on the left, sidelined them. But of course they did. They don't care. It's interesting actually because when I was starting to get more involved in politics back in like 2016, I guess. And I joined the group Courage in Canada, which is like, it was modeled kind of after Momentum in Britain, because like it was the Corbyn years at that time. And it was kind of like a left-wing Courage is kind of like a left-wing organization that's focused on basically making the NDP into like a left-wing party. Was there a British equivalent to McCarthyism? I mean, I would need to look into that more, Matron's Militia, or hear someone that was more familiar with like the Thatcher era. But I mean, anti-communism was a big part of the Thatcher era and was a big part of British politics prior to that. So, I mean, and like removing the idea of socialism, because there was a socialist history in Britain. I think that was pretty pronounced, but it was kind of systematically removed from decision making. Where was I before I switched to McCarthyism? Purges? Oh yeah, okay, so 2016, I got involved in this group Courage, which is the idea of like we can like push the NDP into being a left-wing party. I joined the NDP to vote for Nikki Ashton. It didn't work out, and Jagmeet Singh won the leadership election, and I was kind of like, okay, now what should I do? So I joined this group Courage to, possibly play some role in making the NDP better. And I went to this event, I guess in like 2017 it must have been, I believe, because it was after the Corbyn election. So I believe it was after when the Labour Party had that really good election result under Corbyn. So I went to this event called Courage to Leap, which was a crossover event between Courage and like the Leap, which did the Leap Manifesto, which now no longer exists either. That's whole like Naomi Klein and Avi Lewis's whole thing. So I went to this event in Ottawa that brought some of those speakers together and had some people from the Labour Party had some people from the Labour Party and from Momentum come to this event to talk about, how what they've been doing in the UK, and how, because at that time it really looked like Corbynism was like on ascendant, and it was looking a lot like they were going to sweep into power next before this campaign of sabotage really began in earnest, right? But one of the things I really remember from that meeting, though, is the people from Momentum and the people that were connected to the Corbyn movement saying, like, talking about this press stuff and talking about, like, when the press starts running these, like, hit piece stories on you, that's not something you should shy away from. That's something you need to, like, lean into. Like that exact lesson that I was just talking about. That's your sign that, like, you're onto something and you need to continue. And this was the kind of attitude they had about it. And it does seem like, similarly to what happened with Sanders, it seems like there was a faction that I think wanted to play those media games, and ultimately Corbyn believed the people in his like coalition that were on the same side, and believed them, and started to, I think, listen to these media stories too much. Because in 2017, the attitude, my understanding of it, was really like, when you see these media hit pieces coming, that's your sign that you're doing something good and you need to continue, rather than like withdraw. And it does seem like it got to a point with the Corbyn movement where they started really listening to these things and started trying to appeal to everybody. And as soon as they did that, they were dead. Yeah, Fart Party 69. Absolutely. Always double down. Always Chad, yes. This is the lesson we've learned from the past several years. And not just even on the left, right? But Trump. Trump was the ultimate example of that. Remember when every time someone would get mad at Trump, and any other like establishment Republican or whoever would have been like, oh, I'm sorry, and would have like faltered, and just Trump, just like a dumb asshole, just like blundering, just going straight ahead through everything, and people fucking loved it. That's the absolute lesson. Fart Party 69. Always Chad, yes. Always double down. Absolutely. When Chris Matthew compared Bernie winning Nevada to the Nazi invasion of France, they said nothing, huge mistake. I can't remember if they said nothing. I don't think they said nothing. And I do remember Matthews ended up resigning shortly after that, and that was directly related to it. But I think they were also nice about it. And that's something that it was interesting talking to David Sirota a few weeks ago on the Insurgents podcast, because he was intimately involved in this exact dynamic. And Sirota was the one in the Bernie campaign being like, advocating for this strategy, saying like, yeah, we need to continue with this. And he lost out to the like Faiz Shakirs, who wanted to be nice with the establishment. He resigned because he was exposed as a sex pest. That is not surprising. That is not surprising at all. But yeah, I don't think they said nothing about that whole thing, comparing them to Nazis, but I also think that like they could have fucking gone nuclear over that. Did not agree entirely with Sirota, but that was a good speech. Yeah, you know what, Biggerwig, like I kind of felt the same way. I like David Sirota.
Simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Bernie called them out and MSNBC said they were gonna tighten up. But then Pete and Klob dropped and our world ended. Matthew's resignation timing was coincidental. He was out because of being a sex creep.
Okay, thanks, Ice Tray. Thank you for the 200 friend coin as well. And yeah, I agree, Biggerwig. I like Sirota. Sirota's not like a communist, but if you talk about one of these guys, like in terms of the Bernie campaign and this exact thing that we're talking about, of the Chad yes or the double down strategy, that's exactly what Sirota was advocating. I didn't totally agree with him either in some of the stuff he said in that episode, Biggerwig, but I think my general strategy when I do that kind of podcast stuff and I talk to people that are kind of out of that, maybe that are into that kind of political milieu, I like to kind of set them up to at least try to answer these questions. I don't want to argue with anyone or like go and get into a back and forth with anyone. But I do like to ask certain questions that they need to be able to answer and just see how, and then like you can let the listeners decide whether they answered convincingly or not. So I thought Sirota said a lot of interesting stuff. I didn't totally agree with his whole angle, but I don't feel in my position, like I don't think it's my job to like argue with them in that moment. It's like it's more about just letting him answer these questions and seeing if the listeners that hear the message are satisfied with that. James Caan passed away. That's very sad. What a legend, screen legend. Maybe the whole Bernie thing was controlled up. I don't think so, because I think we saw a genuine freakout by the establishment over it. I think certainly at one point very powerful people talked to Bernie and convinced him to drop out of the race. And there was people in his campaign that were giving him bad advice the entire time that he unfortunately listened to while sidelining people like Sirota. But that's more, I think, a reflection of both Sanders and Corbyn just trying to do the right thing and not being mean enough and taking seriously what people said about them. And this gets to what G. Kleppy is just saying as well. Says, yeah, Trump directly called out the media to great success because everyone fucking hates the media correctly, right? These fucking liars, of course they hate them. They love Trump for doing that. But while Bernie was critical of corporations and capital vaguely, he shied away from directly implicating the media. And the reason that he did that is because whenever he would call out the media in that way, people would say, oh, this is so authoritarian and Trump-like. Sanders is being so Trump-like with his criticism of the media. And instead of doing the double down, which he should have done, this is the strategy, right? Instead of doubling down and saying, no, fuck you, Trump is correct to criticize the media. He's just incorrect about every single thing else that he believes. Instead of doing that, he tried to play the game. He tried to get on their good side. He tried to like play politics. And it didn't work, obviously. This my friend Joe bullshit annoyed the fuck out of me. Sirota at least wanted to attack Biden. Yeah, and listen, I don't know if everyone's listened to this episode of The Insurgents. It was from a few weeks ago. But it's interesting. It's very interesting to hear Sirota's perspective on it. I'll just link it in the chat now. And if you don't listen to the podcast, you should listen to it because it's good. But that's the whole thing. When the Sanders campaign surrogate, Zephyr Teachout, released like an op-ed that accused Joe Biden of corruption, and not just like randomly, but with a very like well thought out and researched and documented argument in like an op-ed, and everyone freaked out. The Biden campaign freaked out. The Biden campaign freaked out. The media freaked out. And everyone was saying, oh, Bernie is calling his Joe Biden corrupt. And he's engaging in this kind of dirty... And it's really interesting hearing Sirota's perspective from this, from someone that was there in these rooms while this was happening. Maybe I should just play the clip, actually. Just play it because I clipped it. Very interesting to hear Sirota's perspective. This is good, actually. We'll get back to the rest of Bojo the Bozo's speech in a little bit. This is a good thread to follow, I think. Britain update is yielding some interesting fruit here. Unfortunately, Ken Klippenstein has been sacked from the podcast after refusing to resign from his post as FOIA minister. Very unfortunate. Let me find this clip of Sirota. Let me find... It's not in media, is it? Oh, you know what? I can find it on the Substack page. That would be much easier. So just hold on. This is David Sirota's like recounting to us here it is, about the fallout from this op-ed accusing Biden of corruption and how he approached this.
I get the sense that they don't see the squad and to an extent the CPC works.
Let me
in 2020 when they
skip this guy. We don't need to hear this guy.
First
social media among kind of Team Blue, I think it was
there and articulate
about the Bernie
people are blocking pretty much everything that they want to do.
I think that's exactly right, and I think your point about the Bernie op-ed and the Kamala Harris statement or interview that she gave in West Virginia and Manchin freaking out. The funny thing is that in social media among kind of Team Blue Democratic apologists, especially with the Bernie op-ed, this is gonna look, Bernie screwed it up. See, Joe Manchin's screaming and crying and whining, and then this is obviously a bad call by Bernie. It was like, no. Joe Manchin's screaming and crying and whining is proof that the tactic is working. The person you're trying to pressure should feel uncomfortable, and when they feel uncomfortable, it's a sign that the pressure is working. I remember this, and I hearken back to the
what a concept.
Bernie Sanders campaign on what I think was one of the pivotal moments of the whole campaign was when Zephyr Teachout did that op-ed about Joe Biden, saying that Joe Biden has a corruption problem, and it wasn't about any kind of right-wing critique. It was about Biden's support for the bankruptcy bill written by the credit card companies, and Biden, I think it was corrupt trade deals. It was all policy stuff. And the media freaked out. Bernie Sanders' surrogate is calling Joe Biden corrupt. Joe Biden, the Biden's campaign freaked out. How dare you? And my reaction was, this is fucking great. Exactly what's supposed to happen, right? You landed a punch. The guy you landed a punch on is now freaking out. Like, that's a sign that you've hit him where it hurts.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to win the election. That's the point here. The point is not to make Joe Biden happy or make Ron Klain, his campaign guy, happy. The point is to fucking win. And Bernie's reaction was to apologize to Joe Biden, saying, he disavowed the op-ed, said he wished it wasn't written, and he apologized. And I think, obviously, the tactics of that are terrible tactics, because then your story goes from Joe Biden has a corruption problem and let's see what the problem is, to Bernie Sanders is apologizing. So tactically, I thought it was a bad call. And just on the merits, it was a sign that, to me, that the campaign wasn't willing to make the contrast that would need to be made to take down an incumbent. And it's the same thing vis-a-vis Joe Manchin or Sinema, that if the first sign of them squirming and freaking out prompts the Democratic Party leaders to back off, it means that they're more serious about making Joe Manchin and Sinema comfortable than they are about actually delivering on their legislative promises.
Well, and this touches on something I think you got into the last time you were on this show, David, which is that it kind of seems like from the way that they've approached, this is the kind of point. This is the lesson from the Sanders campaign and the lesson from the Corbyn campaign. This is why we started talking about this. But say what you want about Sirota, Sirota's not like a communist. Maybe one day we can convince him. Maybe one day we can get Sirota to accept the immortal science of dialectical materialism. Maybe we can get him to do this. But I do think he's very compelling when he makes this specific argument. When he makes this specific argument about this direction, you had two directions for this campaign to go, and it's very compelling. And hearing him make this argument, and it's the inescapable conclusion is that they fucked up. And Bernie fucked up by not listening to him in this moment. If he had listened to him, would Bernie Sanders be president right now? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's like, I would like to see a campaign that operates like that, though. I would like to at least try. You could at least try, right? I don't know if Bernie would be the president right now. But let's see someone try, though. Let's see someone try. Anyway, we can get back to Bojo. We got a few more minutes of Bojo. He's in bloody shambles. It is still Britain update, so we'll get back to Bojo now. I think the point of everything we just talked about over the last little bit, though, is it's the lesson of how we need to act, the lesson of how we need to sell our political program. The lesson of how we need to deal with opposition, both internal and external. You can say that the Corbyn movement was a failure. You can say that the Sanders movement was a failure, and it might not even be over. Sanders might run again. If he fucking does, I hope he listens to people like Sirota next time. But even if it is a failure, I mean, it's not a failure if it's a process where you actually learn things along the way. You build some kind of sense of momentum and you learn valuable lessons on the way. Then it's still valuable, even if it didn't work, right? Getting to the future we want is going to take a lot more than hurt feelings. I mean, this is the inescapable kind of conclusion, right? If we're getting spooked by getting people mad at us, if we're getting spooked by that, well, then I don't think we have the conviction that we're going to need to push things where we need to go, frankly. Because yeah, if we want to push things where we want to go, people are going to get their feelings hurt. There's no doubt about that. People are going to get their feelings very hurt by this and a lot of what we have in mind. So you want to ease into that slowly by not backing down the moment you have like some kind of a challenge like someone like these guys faced. And here's more of Bojo.
Keep levelling up, keep unleashing the potential of every part of the United Kingdom. And if we can do that in this country, we will be the most prosperous in Europe. And in the last few days, I've tried to persuade my colleagues that it would be eccentric to change governments when we're delivering so much, and when we have such a vast mandate, and when we're actually only a handful of points behind in the polls, even in mid-term after quite a few months of pretty relentless sledging, and when the economic scene is so difficult domestically and internationally. And I regret not to have been successful.
Really cool, Jay.
And of course, it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself.
I feel very bad for the guy. You know, Jacob Rees-Mogg still has a nanny, like his own nanny for himself. You know what? I didn't know that, but on some level I did. I think that makes a lot of sense. You know, I don't want to get too crude here, but I feel like that's the kind of guy that, let's just say he still gets his calcium straight from the source. If you catch my drift. This is Jacob Rees-Mogg with his nanny. No, not his child's nanny. His own nanny, who still attends to his needs. He is 44 years old and a government minister. I'll let you fill in the blanks.
And internationally. And I regret not to have been successful in those arguments. And of course, it's painful not to be able to see through so many ideas and projects myself. But as we've seen at Westminster, the herd instinct is powerful. When the herd moves, it moves. And my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable. And our brilliant and Darwinian system will produce another leader equally committed to taking this country forward through tough times, not just helping families to get through it, but changing and improving the way we do things, cutting burdens on businesses and families, and yes, cutting taxes, because that is the way to generate the growth and the income we need to pay for great public services. And to that new leader, I say, whoever he or she may be, I say I will give you as much support as I can. And to you, the British public, I know that there will be many people who are relieved, and perhaps quite a few who will also be disappointed. And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks. I want to thank Carrie and our children and all the members of my family.
Very high level ideas.
So much for so long. I want to thank the
It's a bloody shambles,
Civil
mate.
Service for all the help and support that you have given our police, our emergency services, and of course our fantastic NHS, who at critical moment helped to extend my own period in office, as well as our armed services and our agencies that are so admired
Those are
around
the
world,
breaks.
and our indefatigable Conservative Party members and supporters, whose selfless campaigning makes our democracy possible. I want to thank the wonderful staff here at Checkers, here at number 10, and of course at Checkers, and our fantastic prop force detectives, the one group, by the way, who never leak. Above all, I want to thank you, the British public, for the immense privilege that you have given me. And I want you to know that from now on until the new Prime Minister is in place, your interests will be served and the government of the country will be carried on. Being Prime Minister is an education in itself. I've travelled to every part of the United Kingdom, and in addition to the beauty of our natural world, I found so many people possessed of such boundless British originality and so willing to tackle old problems in new ways that I know that even if things can sometimes seem dark now, our future together is golden.
The night is darkest before the dawn. Trump could never, no. I don't know. It's got to be very frustrating for Bojo, honestly, the way he got completely backstabbed by his party. And yeah, he's responsible for all the scandals, obviously. He's also responsible for delivering them that big, he delivered them that big majority, despite all the fuck-ups of the May era, and he got them oriented towards Brexit. He got them on message with that and made Labour look stupid and like didn't have a position. With all his bluster and all his dumbass behavior and everything, all the Tory evils, Grenfell, and all the horrible, the open, obvious signs of fucking societal decay that the Tory party had overseen. This guy was somehow still able to lead them into election and actually win, and he gets backstabbed by his own party. It's really kind of fitting, isn't it? It's very satisfying to see people willingly give away their own souls over the course of a lifetime, if they ever have. I mean, this guy comes from the fucking British private school background, so that's even being quite generous as well. And then just but then just get completely backstabbed. Just get completely backstabbed by all the sycophantic fucking ghouls in your party. Tories eat their own, they're right. No loyalty in this game, Boris. No loyalty in this game, Bojo. Now that Labour's no longer a threat, that's right. And it was with the help of the media and centrist Blairites, of course, in Innuendo. I thought the Tories were infamous for stabbing their leaders in the back. I guess it's how could this have ever happened to me? He's been comically evil from birth, used to terrorize the peasants around his uni. No, I know how these upper crust British people operate, definitely. I don't want to be too generous about any of his possible minute amount of goodness that might exist within somewhere deep down. I don't want to be too flippant about that obviously false idea. Them's the Breaks Jungle Remix.
And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks. I want to thank Carrie, and I want you to know how sad... And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the break.
Oh my goodness. I got to do that one more time, actually. I'm sorry, that was too fun. That was too fun.
And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But then is the break. But then is the break.
Whew. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's great. One of this is one of you. Next, the Parliamentary Committee on Japes has to trigger the Queen's tiddlywinks, and if a quorum of Tory whibs and wobs votes for his resignation, then everyone has to race to the Tower, to London, and fight a birth eater, and the winner is the new PM. That sounds about right. That sounds about right to me. I can imagine Rob... There we go. There we go. Good stuff. The Queen has been activated. The schools and institutions these Tories go to teach them that they're better than everyone else, and the people that are there only to be used for your own benefit. They see most people as beasts. I mean, King of Barbies, I've talked before about the Flashman series, the Flashman Papers, which is a very like dad series of like historical fiction novels that take place during like between like 1820 and 1880 something, in kind of Victorian era like British Empire stuff. And is very much about that. And the protagonist of the books is this guy Harry Flashman, who is one of these people, and is like has gone through his whole career as being this like respectable military hero and political figure, and like this kind of like British war hero. And the Flashman Papers are like his secret memoirs that he's writing to be published posthumously, where he's open and honest about like everything, how he's like an absolute coward, disgusting piece of shit human being, and all is horrible, the way that he views people and the way that whole class views people. And it's very much like, it's funny and entertaining, but it's very much about that exact kind of class of British person, and that exposes like the reality of what that actually was behind the flowery rhetoric. Very entertaining series for that. If you can get past some of the like horrific behavior that Flashman engages in, I think it's worth. There's some of these books that are worth reading, definitely, just to kind of get that understanding of not only like what that British upper crust mindset, but it's also very historically accurate in terms of like what the British Empire was actually doing in Afghanistan, in India, in there's the whole thing on the. There's the Indian Mutiny. There's the Charge of the Light Brigade. There's a whole series of them. It's called the Flashman Papers. The very first one is about the retreat from Kabul, which is just like one of the most horrific ownings in the history of the British Empire. The retreat from Kabul. I've talked about it on this show before. But it's kind of an interesting way to learn about these historical events. I got the Alamo edition. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if I ever read that one. Okay. Does that do it for Britain Update? Have we finished with Britain Update? I feel like we have. I'll probably want to take a little break soon. I will remind everyone, 90 minutes in, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, if you enjoy the content, please subscribe, Get the emotes. You can subscribe using your Prime, your Amazon Prime subscription, totally free of charge. It really helps out. It helps keep the channel on the air. And I appreciate it a lot. I encourage people to please subscribe if you can. If you enjoy the content and if you enjoy the community. Please enjoy this clip of Bojo playing tug of war to close out. Great pause face. Boris spotted in the wild. See, now I've tried to move off of Britain update. I changed the title and everything, and now we're still on there. What is this? They took the Madame Tussauds Blackpool lugging their waxwork Boris outside the job centre as an absolutely sensational bit of stick. They brought the wax figure to the job centre. I mean, it would be funny to make fun of that as well, but at the same time, people like Boris Johnson don't actually have... It's not going to have any... It's embarrassing and humiliating for him that his lifelong dream of becoming Tory Prime Minister has blown up in his face, and he's had to resign in disgrace. Obviously, that's embarrassing. It's not like he's going to have any actual consequences in terms of anything that he oversaw in that role. Right? He's just going to fucking parachute onto the board of some God knows what evil corporation that's going to pay him to do whatever. Maybe give a few speeches a year or whatever. He's going to join the fucking Obama Institute for Bipartisan Research and become one of the sensible Tories advising on foreign policy. That's why we're devouring the Schadenfreude to get what nutrition we can. Yeah, that's right. Again, it is embarrassing for him, but let's not get too carried away that he's going to be actually dealing with any real consequences for any of this stuff. Him and Zelensky will have an Odd Couple-like TV show. Interesting as well that one of his last roles was basically going to Ukraine and telling Zelensky no deal, no, you're no peace, no talks, no negotiations. That was one of the last things he did in an international capacity. It's kind of weird that there's all these people that we hate, like Boris, standing with Ukraine and standing with Zelensky, and clearly being part of the international group that's pressuring Zelensky on a number of things. And he can clearly, we hate Boris. We see him obviously being part of that. And yet we still have people on the left that are well, I also stand with Zelensky. I also unequivocally support Ukraine's right to just get unlimited arms shipments from the West. Don't you clue in a little bit when you see the kind of company that's being kept there? Why is that so tricky for people, I wonder, Personally, I don't try to coalition with people like Boris Johnson. But that's just me. I'm built different. When I see Boris Johnson saying hey, this is a good thing that we need to support, my general feeling is just I don't really trust this. But that's just me. Sometimes this is really tricky for people. An evil piece of shit like Boris will always be fine, but if I make a problematic tweet, it's game over. Yeah. Well, we have Kissinger on our side. I guess that's true. Well, that's the thing. We do have Kissinger on our side, and there's this whole other people emerging that are like to Kissinger's right on these foreign policy issues. That's the issue. It's like, it's not that I want to stand with Kissinger. It's just that, like, you people have gotten so fucking, you're so outrageous here. You're making Kissinger look like a fucking peacenik. That's something that those people need to interrogate, not me, not us, right? You need to ask yourself the questions of what led you to Kissinger's right. That's what you need to deal with. That I'm not concerned with it. And when Kissinger dies, I will celebrate. We will do a stream on the day that Kissinger dies, and we will celebrate on the stream. I will buy a fucking bottle of champagne and drink a glass of it on this very stream, on this day, which we do know is coming eventually. It must come eventually, right? So if anyone wants to criticize me for being on the same side as Kissinger, believe me, I will be right here on the stream, popping bottles, the day that this man passes away. Both you and Trump think the media is garbage. Very interesting. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness. I would also like to do a champagne taste test like we did at the rain, discussing how good the cheap bubbly tastes on that fine day. It sounds great. Let's do it. Where Kissinger stands. You're celebrating someone's death. No. I'm sorry that I said you were British, Alana. I'm sorry. Too bad. That's right. Did gas prices go down? Yeah, actually, Dark Brandon came through for once. Listen, folks, you do have to hand it to him sometimes. Dark Brandon came through. He demanded very, very sternly that these gas companies drop prices, and look at that. It went right down. It went right down. He was a blood-soaked monster, but that man had a family. You know, like I said, I'm going to the U.S. in a couple weeks, and I think if I get an opportunity to buy one of those like touristy Let's Go, if I find like a touristy shop where there's like a Let's Go Brandon shirt, I'm absolutely going to purchase it. If I can get a Let's Go Brandon shirt. One of those really like shitty touristy versions, you know? I can't wait for our leaders to tell wages to go up. They should have thought of this a while ago. It's crazy. They should have thought of this a while ago. Why don't they just say these things more often? Rob, as a U.S. resident, I'd like to be the first to welcome you to our country by asking, are you sure? I am, in all honesty, I am still a little weirded out about going to America, but I'm going to try and get over it. I've been going to Maine since I was a little kid, and now I'm a dad, and I'm going to bring my little kid, who's the same age that I was when I went there. He's going to be going and enjoying all these things. We're going to do the bumper cars. There's the beach, the touristy like shops around there, the pier, the carnival games and stuff. I'm sorry, but I love that shit. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I love that shit. That's my one deepest, darkest admission. Yes, I want to destroy America. Yes, I absolutely love that bullshit at the same time. We exist. There are dozens of us. There are dozens of us. You're going to Amity Island, home of Jaws. No, I'm going to be in Maine, though. I'm a big Maine head. I've spent more time in Maine than I have in like many other parts of Canada. I've been going to West Virginia on a cabin trip with my American friends every couple of years or so. This year I still haven't bought my plane ticket because I've been waiting to see what's up down there before I go. I don't want to travel into a fucking jackpot or something, yeah. It's a slippery slope from bumper cars to fascism. That is true. That is true. Do not become addicted to the bumper cars. You'll grow to resent their absence. They have killer clowns in Maine. Just ask Stephen King. That's right. I love hanging out in the spooky towns that from Stephen King novels. The Dead Zone. It. Needful Things. I can't remember where Needful Things took place. I imagine it was a spooky town in Maine, though. Yes, I want to destroy America. Yes, I want to see the Fonzie statue in Milwaukee. It's called a dialectic, all right? It's called a dialectic, folks. You're allowed to enjoy that stuff as long as you still keep in your mind that you do indeed want to destroy the country and the society and the economy. And then you can enjoy it and have fun, and you can watch like Top Gun or whatever, and it's okay. The contradictions run deep, folks. Absolutely. Even the fucking Taliban enjoyed bumper cars. Come on now. That's true. That is true. I think Maine and Vermont are the only states I haven't been to. Gorgeous. I've driven through many times. Maine and Vermont. Lovely places. Hopefully when America is destroyed and it splits up into a number of different places, like that can be its own little enclave. I've talked before how I would like to join Quebec with Vermont and Maine, ideally. As this whole North American project continues to like break up, I would like us to combine our forces. The clown risk is simply too great. You know how many evil clowns per capita they got down there? Not an East Coast fan. Well, that's fair. That's fair, Sinchal. I'm an East Coast guy, but I feel like I should be a West Coaster. I grew up here and I grew up in this kind of environment. I think I've got a West Coast mindset in some ways, though. Greater Quebec, that's right. I'd move to Nouveau Quebec. It would be great. Is it tradition to do the Bernie voice when driving through Vermont? No. But it should be. Yeah, we're talking Maine fauna. Big Maine head over here. I'm a big Maine head. If you drive through Burlington, I'll wave to you from my window. Okay, Maxie. I will definitely drive. I will drive by it on the highway. Coastal elites. That's right. That's me. Northern New England is beautiful. We can make the border mass, though, so we don't need Boston there. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah. That sounds like a great idea. Rob is a bi-coastal elite. And the Pacific Ocean is better. The Pacific, I don't think that's arguable. The Atlantic is fine. The Pacific is, I think, better, though. I don't think there's any argument to that. The Caribbean is better than Pacific. I guess, fuck, that's a whole other aspect of it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. We'll need to combine forces against Texan imperialism. I'm also going to be in New Hampshire a bit. New Hampshire I could do without, frankly. New Hampshire, I think like every adult man over the age of like 38 in New Hampshire is a cop. I don't know how it works like that. There's been some kind of immense scam that's taken place. At some kind of rite of passage in New Hampshire, you get to be above a certain age and you just automatically become a member of the police department. It's where cops come from. The last time I stayed there, I was in like a hotel in New Hampshire, and like there was like a pool area, and like every single person was one of those like big like fridge guys with the hair, with the shaved hair and the spiky on top. Every single one of them. There was not like I was the only person that looked like this, and every single other person just was one of those guys. The thumb, yeah, he was the thumb people. That's where they come from. Come to Rhode Island where our state cops literally look like Nazi officers. Yeah, I saw that actually I saw a tweet about that. They do look like Nazi RCMP types. Even though the RCMP is already basically a fascist organization, they at least like kind of look bright and try to look non-threatening. In Rhode Island, they're just like, no, we'll go with threatening. Thank you. Rob felt like Hunter Thompson walking into Vegas. Exactly. Absolutely. This is me checking into a hotel in New Hampshire.
I am a police chief from Michigan. Look, fella, I have explained to you. I have this postcard, which says that I have a reservation in this hotel.
I'm very sorry, sir, but you're on the late list. And so your reservation has been transferred.
Sven, yeah.
The Moonlight Motel, which is just out on Paradise Boulevard.
We've already paid for our goddamn room.
Well, it's actually a very fine place of lodging, and it's only 16 blocks from here. It has a pool, sauna, steam.
You listen to me, you filthy little faggot! I want a manager down here! Now! Now! Now, because I'm sick of listening to your dog shit! People come here to be entertained.
Very sorry, sir.
Get off of me! Get away from me!
Can I call you a cab?
Sure, and I'll call you a cocksucker.
Of course.
Sorry for the language. And we got Johnny Depp in there. just all problematic all over the place now. Circus is like if the Nazis won the war. There's a lot of stuff in that book. That really like hits really hard now. It hits way harder than when I read it in the 90s. It hits really hard now. No, it's not John Hamm, it's Chris Maloney.
I've been fucked around in my time by a fairly good cross-section of mean-tempered, rural, crazy cops. And now, it's my turn. So fuck you, officer. I'm in charge.
By the way, I have to announce I'm a Chris Maloney stan. He's so good in Bound. Lodane, I can really imagine late 90s Lodane just having your brain rewired by watching Bound. I can really picture that. That must have really done a number on you. I had the poster in my room. And I don't think I've ever seen the movie, but I had the poster because I found Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon very attractive. It was the early 2000s, okay. It's also the origin of the chud obsession with adrenochrome. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. This whole crazy sequence in the hotel at the end. You know, probably would be worth a movie night, frankly. It would be worth a movie night. I'm gonna put this back on, I guess. It's best if you'd run on adrenochrome yourself. Yeah. Why don't I take a little bit of a break? Okay. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm just going to go to the bathroom and get some water, just very quick. Okay. Easy. I'm just going to go very quickly. 3-4 minutes. In fact, I'm not even going to put. No, I'll put something on the screen. I'll put something on the screen, I guess. I guess.
My next guest is one of the most controversial writers in America.
I'll be right back.
The inventor of gonzo journalism. We're delighted that he could be with us tonight. Welcome, please, Dr. Hunter Thompson. Nice to see you, sir. Have a seat if you want. How are you?
Oh, I am terrible.
What's the matter? You don't...
Well, I've been going to court every morning for 2 weeks at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And for me to go anywhere at 7 o'clock is real hard. So I tend to stay up all night.
Yeah.
So in other words, I stayed up all night for 2 weeks.
That makes sure you don't sleep at all, do you?
That's about the 188th hour.
Yeah.
So I want to prove something. You know, I want to prove. I'm not sure what.
But you feel like you're now in the middle of a mission and you will have proven something.
I probably will have before this is over. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's good.
That wasn't why I came here, but yeah, I'll prove something. I couldn't talk this morning at all. My voice was gone. When I called to say I can't make it, I couldn't say anything.
Oh, so originally you called here to cancel.
Yeah. Do I have a microphone on, or is this some kind of sandbag trip where you have a microphone and I don't?
That's right. I'm the only one in the building with a mic on. Nobody hears anything the guests.
Chicago politics.
Now, when you talk...
I'm not mic'd at all, right?
No,
You've taken
right
everything.
Here, Hunter, this thing right
I
here.
see, okay.
They're hearing every word you say.
It's paranoia,
yeah. So you're Dr. Hunter Thompson. Can I ask you what the...
I thought we agreed not to discuss these...
You don't want to discuss the doctor?
I could discuss your childhood and, your teeth and stuff like that, but... Really, I think it's really, we're not into an academic credential thing.
Well, no, I didn't. I just assumed that if
I insist on the use of the term doctor.
Yeah.
At certain times, but in fact, I'm a doctor of chemotherapy, of journalism, and of comes to me. What's that word? Divinity. Yes, divinity.
Divinity.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I would have guessed that.
I think so. Yeah.
Let me ask you about...
it's embarrassing to have that many doctorates. It's like being rich.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if you went to school and earned it, you shouldn't be embarrassed by it.
I've worked all my life for these things.
Yeah.
Wealth and doctorates.
Uh-huh.
Why shouldn't I be a little sensitive about displaying them in some kind of sleazy TV video? I told you I just want to have a little fun.
I know, and that's what we're doing here, trying to have a little fun. Now, tell me about the goings-on in Palm Beach. Let's talk about something else for a second here. What you brought here... is this a gift, Hunter, or is this...
In a sense, yeah. That's a gift. That's a bomb.
We have here 2,000 or 3,000 firecrackers, huh?
Well, no, not that many.
Really?
It's a light thing. I brought it out to set it off.
No, you're not going to be setting these off in here, would you?
Well, yeah,
No, we'll just maybe later.
I do the same thing.
Maybe later at the buffet upstairs, we'll set those off.
I'll put it back over here.
No, you get it close to that cigarette.
I knew that would happen. I say, don't worry, let's go out there and put it down in front of him.
Tell me about your correspondence with the American Express Company. About what did you have in mind for those folks?
I got offended, frankly, that and American Express was offering the gold card to the rebel, and what I considered fairly a loose-minded sort of greedy kind of way. And do you have a gold card?
No, I don't.
See, that's what I mean. It's but it's being offered in a way I consider degraded the gold card.
Do you have one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what is that supposed to represent? If you have one of those, what does that mean?
It tells me that I can go anywhere I want and get money. Yeah, I can. Well, there are limits to this, and there are certain dark aspects of that contract. But basically, if I've left red Chrysler convertibles all over Palm Beach and hotels and beach houses. I can just, it's like the card.
That's right.
I had it. I didn't even have to register in a hotel.
Just wave the card and you're in.
They call me doctor down there.
Yeah.
They call you whatever you want, really, with the gold card. But I didn't feel it should be offered to the masses.
Yeah.
This is the Palm Beach. I've been educating myself to think like the Palm Beach life. And I've come to some surprising life stances in this. I've taken a driving up and down the beach in a red Chrysler convertible with lesbians at night. And naked people and drugs.
This is the power of the gold card.
That's what you have to do. Yeah. But I thought that Palm Beach, the American Express image was kind of sullied by the idea that anyone could wander around like this and rent convertibles, buy lesbians, all that, trumpets with a gold card. So I wrote them a letter saying that, look, I think I have a better idea. And what that is that I should do your ads from now on for the gold cards, not the green cards. I don't want any part of that. And I put it down in a very forceful and I think persuasive style. And it was rejected by the swine that I wrote it to. His name was Johnson.
No.
There's a place called the Grog Shop somewhere.
It would be an effective campaign. I think you for the American Express card. Yeah.
Hello.
That's. I'm sure you have.
Hello.
Yeah, sure we do. We have a full staff of folks who are looking to get you commercial work. That's all they do.
I don't have
in the morning.
I really work in courthouses and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a reporter.
Oh, Matt, that's so cool. He died when I was interning at Rolling Stone, so I got to pour through his body of work and pick out the highlights for the memorial issue. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. Did I just come in like the Kool-Aid Man and start blasting the high volumes?
Yeah. Let me, now speaking of reporters, is it true that you one time were a bowling reporter for a Puerto Rican newspaper?
Oh, that's a low blow. Yeah.
No,
all the things I've done to bring that fellow.
Is that the truth, though?
It is true, yeah.
Now how does one get that position?
Well, I was writing a novel at the time about San Juan, and I decided that, reverse it. I went to San Juan and decided to write a novel about it. And what I wanted to do was work on this new English language paper, the San Juan Star. And I presented my credentials and got immediately just horribly rejected. Several friends of mine were hired. So I wrote the editor a letter saying, you're a swine, a fool, and a doomed man.
Pretty much the same letter you wrote to the American Express guy.
No, that was worse. And I said, I'm going to find somebody to come down here and get you for this. And lo and behold, way back in the personals, they had columns of the New York Times on a Sunday was a 3-line ad that said, famous international Puerto Rican sports magazine seeks chic editor, something like that. And I thought, well, I'll call that. And it was some swine, really, that's what it comes down to, who was starting what he called the Sports Illustrated of the Caribbean. It sounded real good. And plus it gave me I'm into vengeance. I like to settle these scores to the best of my ability. When you live this life, you want to settle scores.
Yeah.
People get sloppy otherwise. So I went down there to work in this magazine, which I really thought was going to be a slick sports magazine. And it turned out to be a bowling sheet, a horrible thing, where I had to hang around bowling alleys at night and report the scores of the Federal League and Harold's real estate sales and Hernandez.
This is some guy, Rob Russo, some leftist based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Oh, shit. Zach. Thank you very much for the raid, Zach. Welcome. Bring it in here, Zach. Raiders. I appreciate that, Zach. Thank you. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Rob. Maybe you know me from Twitter or the Insurgents podcast or Twitch, or maybe you don't know me at all. But that's who I am. Smash the follow button if you want to chat. Welcome. What have we done today? I talked about my personal update about I was resolving some tasks. Do any of us really know each other? That's right, Sean. Thank you. I talked about resolving some tasks. We did a Britain update. I had a little rant about the lessons of the Sanders campaign and the lessons of the Corbyn moment, the Corbyn project. We had Britain update, and then what's it been since then? I don't know. Just mostly just a lot of chit chat. Close personal friend of David Sirota. That's right. You have to admit it would be funny if somehow we were able to convert David Sirota to the immortal science of Marxism Leninism. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be a funny trajectory for him? I'm going to still keep believing in it. I still believe. Hello, comrade, clever name. What's up? So let's check out something. I would like to watch a video or something like that. Okay, I have something. I wonder if we should take tomorrow to focus on some JFK stuff. Because I have a couple of JFK things that I wanted to do. Including listen to this episode of our Hidden History with Peter Dale Scott about deep politics and the JFK assassination. That's one thing I kind of wanted to listen to. And I'm also we got an interview coming up about it as well. Please look at this. Okay, what do we got here, Relic? What do we got? What do we got? I can say that like Al Pacino sometimes. That can be one of my new things. What do we got? When I listen to another hit Nickelback single, I'm just taking off the sunglasses. This crew is good. Zelensky to Johnson, you're a hero. Everyone loves you. Personally, I wouldn't call Bojo a hero, but again, that's why I'm built different. Kremlin gloats, Zelensky saddened by resignation of Boris Johnson. He doesn't like us, we don't like him either, the Kremlin spokesman said. And yet it's very controversial to say that seems like an acceptable, good, in fact, good stance that I happen to agree with. Haters will tell you that it's impossible to say that. We got a president selling our oil to China. Who? Who's doing that? Definitely sounds like sarcasm. Might be a translation problem. No, it's the Kremlin saying that, though. It's not Zelensky. Zelensky is sad, and the Kremlin is just like, whatever, we don't like the guy. Get out of here. You'll be accused of all kinds of stuff for taking one side of that and being like, I kind of agree with them on that. Biden's selling your oil to China? Is that true? Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that. Is there anything we can do about that, do you think? We should stop Brandon from selling oil to China. How can we stop this? We should brainstorm some ways we can get to the bottom of this here. That's not acceptable. They should be selling that oil to Americans, God damn it. Right? R.I.P. Bozo, Kremlin spokesperson said. And I'm sorry, but sometimes you do have to hand it to them. Sometimes you do have to hand it to them. I'm sorry. I know it makes people very uncomfortable. But sometimes, goddammit, you do have to hand it to them. The Kremlin gloats, and they should. I mean, Zelensky saying everyone likes you after his own party ousted him in the UK is literally falling apart due to his administration. Okay, I see what you mean. You're a hero. Everyone loves you. Unless he's talking about everyone, like all my peeps. Everyone around here. Something like that. I don't know. Somehow this is Putin's fault. Why has Putin done this? Why has Putin done this? This is the question. I'm seeing if Breakthrough News has anything for us here. See what else we got here. Has VJ got anything for us? Surely I can lean on someone that's more learned than I am, who's done actual research on things and is intelligent. Surely I can lean on someone else for content right now. Right? Just looking around here, clicking on links. This is the content that everyone comes here for. This is the content that everyone comes to this channel for, when I'm just kind of silently clicking and not acknowledging anyone. This is what I'm really good at doing. Here's something. Here's something kind of interesting. What do we think about this? Oh, shit. We already looked at that. We already looked at that, didn't we? What do you think about this, though? We got a Vijay Prashad clip here. History is a series of experiments. Could that be good? Could that be something? Rob goes full reality show react streamer. We all know where this is going. Listen, I gotta go where the audiences are, Sean. Okay? I gotta go where the audiences are. So I should start just watching Iron Chef or whatever bullshit. Alright? I'm gonna start reacting to like Love Island or something. What's going on Love Island? What's happening on Love Island? This is what I want to know. Let's take a look into this.
Obviously, I thought straight away, like, yeah, she's my type. At the same time, I'm not going to go beg it. But throughout the days, I did find myself kind of just gravitating towards you. So I thought, actually, why is that funny?
No, it's not. It's not funny.
As I was
It's not
saying,
funny.
Got a good vibe.
Okay, good.
Why are you saying that like that?
Well, good. I'm glad you feel a vibe because I feel a vibe too. I didn't necessarily expect it to be reciprocated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Are you getting all giggly?
Yeah, I am getting giggly.
What?
Yeah, because I do fancy you a bit. Just a little bit.
I'm just coming down.
Stop.
With attention.
I was not.
I'm gonna hear this properly here.
Yeah, of course. Right.
Yeah, no.
No.
I'm panicking. I'm sorry, but I'm actually panicking.
No, it's all right. Oh, God.
Everyone was just Roger staring blankly into the camera.
In your car.
Just kissed. Okay. Let me just compose.
Okay, let me just.
It's calm.
This is what happened, right?
Okay.
He just looked
Shit, what happened? Watch the viewer count shoot up.
That was sexy. I was like, okay.
What have I done? No,
okay,
but I feel like I completely
no.
disrespected Andrew now.
Is this what you people want?
Literally, you've done literally nothing wrong. What you've done is you've had a vibe. You've just gone with the flow. You've done what's right in the moment. You are still Tasha. You're still single. You. You've just gone with the vibe in here.
Is this what you people want? Fine. Is this what you want from me? If that's what you want, I'll react to Love Island. If that's what the people want. If that's what the viewers want. This is you. You've done this. This is society's fault. This is my network moment here. I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm going to react to Love Island. Love Island, Boris Johnson, for God's sake, I just want to talk wrestling. Danica's in a real jam here. Or Tasha? I don't know. Let's see. Let's examine further.
And
I'm not familiar with the lore.
Kiss will either solidify if you maybe want to just still get to know him, or if it's like, oh, nah, you know?
It's a good kiss.
Okay. I'm so proud of her because she's just gone for it and she really has let her barriers down. So, not to jump the gun, but I do think that there is definitely something to be more explored.
Okay.
No, but you've done
all right.
For you. That's the main thing. Thanks, babes.
Okay. Sexual content and strong
Two
language.
Blondies coming tonight, would you panic?
Nah.
You wouldn't?
Nah.
You still think you've got a fair chance?
I've got better chat.
Have you?
Yeah.
You know who you want in bed, though?
I wish I was on Love Island too. It looks nice.
That's not my decision.
I would like to just go and hang out.
In my bed tonight, whoever jumps in.
I would like to go on Love Island and just kind of hang out and just be like a friendly, and to not really just whatever you guys want to do is fine. Just go for it, you know? I just want to have the food, hang out in the nice weather. Surely one of these shows could use a character like that. Everyone's always trying to like smooch each other and stuff. I would not take part in that whatsoever.
But do you want me to jump in?
If you want.
No, I want a yes or no.
If you want.
No, give me a yes or no. Look,
I might end up in trouble if you get in bed with me, so...
I think I need a yes or no answer.
My bed...
I can put captions. I don't know if the captions are going to even figure it out.
It will be open if you want to jump in later. You can jump in. Would you actually want to cuddle if you get in bed?
Yeah.
Oh, you will want a kiss next as well.
Yeah. I want it all.
Oh, shit.
All?
Nah, not all. I'll take that back.
No, I mean, it's day 2.
You're not that lucky.
Come off it, mate. Oh, yeah. If we get under the covers.
Oh my god, this is scintillating.
Oh, actually, you had a chat earlier, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Shan.
Shan.
Yeah, right, yeah.
She's nice, isn't she?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, really nice.
You're very different.
Yeah.
You're very out there, funny, you know. I mean, but then she's a bit quieter, more reserved, you know?
Yeah.
So, wonder who'd have more fun with.
Oh my gosh, this place, you can't predict anything that happens in here. Jax is like, he's like a puppy. Casa Moore has been like him.
Come off it, mate.
A candy shop, basically. Like, he wants to eat everything. How's your night been?
Not bad, not bad. How's yours?
Good, yeah. You look nice.
Oh, thank
Give
you.
us a snog.
I was for you, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
Look at this guy's just a player. He was just there talking to Molly. He sounds like he's all serious. Jacques. He's a British guy named Jacques. Figure that out. He's in there talking, like giving the business to Molly. And now right away, he's right in there with Cheyenne. Unbelievable. This guy's a fucking wild man. And I find it disrespectful. It's disrespectful both to Molly and to Cheyenne, frankly.
I don't like giving compliments out, do I?
Why?
Not all
Are
the
you
time.
stubborn?
Nah, I just say you look alright. That should be enough, you know what I mean?
Oh, this guy.
When you look at me with the eyes, you know,
This guy's healing it up over here.
get me in trouble. No, I could get me in trouble.
Babe, you do that on your own.
Well, I don't do that on my own.
How about you chat with Molly?
I don't think I'm really interested, to be honest.
Why not?
No.
He's trying to figure out if he could be flogging Molly.
What's made you change your mind?
I think she's a fun girl.
He's playing them against each other now.
Like laughs with her and that, but
Unbelievable.
someone who's the same as me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trouble enough.
Can you comment on the ridiculous glass behind her? Turn it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is with that? I don't know. What is that, a goblet? A chalice? I don't know.
Yeah. No. So yeah. Like,
Look at this cheeky
I
grin.
think I need to tell her.
If you've left her with the impression that
I'm still open, yeah. I probably need to tell her, don't I?
like that's what you're feeling.
Yeah, that is what I'm feeling. You know,
I don't think he is going to tell her, frankly.
If you're the only one that I've like.
I'm just tuning in. Is this punishment for people not subscribing? Yes, but people like it now. That's the problem.
I don't feel like we've had much time either.
Yeah, no, I know. This is what I feel like with you. I just feel comfortable. I'm intrigued on like how this conversation with Molly has ended. Like,
It's so hard to understand what she's saying. Seriously. Even me, a master of British accents.
Oh, nice to know.
I'm a master of British accents, and even I have a hard time understanding this.
You know what I mean? I think I am the only lad she's really getting on with at the minute, and who she'd actually have a good connection with. I don't think she's really that into any other lads.
Damn. Jacques makes a decision. Let's see what else this slime ball gets up to here.
I woke up in a filthy mood, sulking and that, and next minute I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, I'm just thinking about Paige. I'm thinking, I can't be like this. It's not me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being
like
myself.
it's like you're feeling guilty before you even done anything. Do you know what I mean?
I literally said to myself, like, I'm feeling like this because I'm feeling about Paige's feelings.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling about mine.
Yeah,
I'm not thinking about my feelings.
He's not thinking about himself. This Jacques' problem is that he's just never thinking about himself. Always putting other people's interests before his own. That's what this man's problem is. He just radiates that kind of selflessness, this guy.
Do I know what she's... I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm so scared of hurting that girl and holding myself back. Like,
You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle. Thank you, Miragons. Thank you, Miragons, for the 5 gifted subs. That's so kind of you, Miragons. Thank you. I'll make it end in just a few minutes. In just a few little minutes. Thank you very much, Miragons. I just want to see what's going. Jacques is going to make a decision here, okay? Jacques is going to make a decision. I want to know what the decision is.
I get it now. Like, I'm not gonna just fucking sit back and let things go. I need to get to know the girl. And listen, if I'm feeling a kiss tonight with girls, I'll feel a kiss tonight with girls. I'll deal with the consequences. You know what I mean? I'll deal with the consequences.
The lads.
Put myself out there. How do I know if what I've got with Paige is so good if I don't even give it another chance for someone else?
That's right. Yeah. That's logic.
Simple as that. I can't be sat around here sulking and waiting for someone else. Whatever makes you happy, go for it, mate. And
Just lads being lads. So I wonder if there's a Love Island reaction. Maybe we should react to that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
If you guys really thought the recoupling was going to be today, you really played.
Now we're going to do a Love Island react. We're doing a Love Island react now. It's meta. It's like Inception. It's like Love Islandception. Reactception. Viewers are still fluctuating wildly. We're in uncharted territories here. Uncharted waters here.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Like that. This is gonna drag. But guys, before I get into this review,
Thank you very much, Miragons.
you already know, road to 10K. Okay.
Thank you, Miragons, for the gifted sub.
Starts off with Josh and Anika speaking, and guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's not giving. It's not giving. He's like, I don't want to be begging it. I don't want to be begging it.
The stakes are high on Love Island.
If this is begging it, he's here. Like, you know what? He's actually here. You see how you guys can't see my hand? If this is begging it, this is how far he is.
Okay, I thought there would be some. Okay, I thought there would be some like footage. I thought there would be some footage of the Love Island that she would react to. I don't think we just want to watch like a vlog like this. How many subs to make it end? This is my new career now. This is my new career path. Well, we're not having. We're not having fun. We're not having fun with this. I will put on more. I will put on more Love Island reactions.
Have you watched the new Love Island?
I have indeed.
You have?
Yes.
Are you enjoying it?
I am. I feel like it's always a bit slow to start with.
Yeah. They always grill it at the start, innit?
They do,
like, yeah, like,
but I think it's because people don't...
We simply
like,
use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Here's 200 bits. Keep the Love Island reacts coming.
G Cluppy, thank you for the 200 friend coins. See, G Cluppy, they aid the chaos agent. The chaos agent in the chat. Oh my gosh. I get it. You know the trashy reality show? You know the trashy reality show that I remember like genuinely being into was Paradise Island, which I think was like, remember Paradise Island in like the 2003 around? Remember that one? Paradise Hotel. Was that it?
I thought it was Paradise Island. Paradise Hotel. It had the Eddie Money theme song. Does anyone remember that? G Cluppy starting a color revolution in Robland. Lodane, this is all meta. You don't need to rate us to anyone. This is all meta commentary. This is all meta commentary about our culture and internet culture and React culture and Twitch. See, this is on the reboot. I'm not interested in the reboot. I'm not interested in the 2020 version of this bullshit.
Have you watched the new Love Island?
I have indeed.
You have.
Yes.
Are you enjoying?
Therefore, she's like rebelling. I think she's trying to make him jealous as well, but then she's kissing him behind his back. He doesn't actually know that.
Exactly. So it's not even
So it's
making
not
him
even
jealous
jealousy
because
then,
you
is
don't
it?
even know.
I don't know then.
We're watching it with ironic distance, just like how I religiously watch Say Yes to the Dress. Exactly. It's like you don't really like it. You're not really into it. You're not like a fan, right? You're just watching it every single day and also enjoying it, but like intelligently though. Rob, I'll give 5 subs if you do Real Housewives. Don't you ever talk about my husband's scene. I'll take that bet. Thank you, Mechabay, for the 69 friend coin. We must revoke the divide between feeling and understanding by way of reaction vids. Thank you. I love saying yes to the dress. Thank you, Full Stop Terry. Real Housewives, don't ever talk about my husband. I've never been like a... Is it this? I've never been like a Real Housewives watcher. Is it is it this from this famous clip? The famous react image? See, look, now I'm reacting to a scene that itself has become an iconic reaction image. What does that mean? It's like Baudrillard. It's like a copy of a copy of a copy. And that says something. That says something about our culture and our society, doesn't it? What does it say? I don't know. Who am I to? I'm not the one to say that. I'm not the one to explain that, but it says something. And whatever that something is, it's very profound.
Oh no. It's emotional. Stop. It's okay. It's all good. Why is it emotional?
You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle. Thank you very much, Miragons. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. That's very, very kind of you. I'm sorry for torturing you with this stuff today.
When I was 6, up to a drug overdose and alcohol. My sister died of a seconal and alcohol overdose. And she was 21. So I had
Is this the clip?
rooted issues about people dying from alcohol and drugs.
And if anyone else wants to subscribe to the channel now is the time to do it, because then we're going to have a hype train and we can get emotes. So if anyone else wants to subscribe to the channel, whether you want to support this content or whether you want to like try to somehow bribe me to not look at it, now is the time to do it.
Overdoses. It's in my DNA. It's in my blood. I didn't really process it, so I'm so terrified of my own children and everyone. You know, if I ever come across too strong about
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all
I
this.
definitely have you know, a fear of it and an Achilles heel, and it you know,
Thank you, McBay.
I'm sorry if I've ever, you know, gotten into.
Thank you, McBay, for the gifted sub.
I only wanted to.
Well, you have.
Gotten into your business.
Yes, you have. And we've discussed that.
I only meant to help.
Lisa, I have been
Uh-oh.
single for 3 years. And in 3 years, my friends right here
Uh-oh.
and my family have not ever seen me like that in 3 years.
But I saw you like that.
I said that night I had taken something for pain, and it obviously didn't work for me. And let me finish. And I said that. It didn't react to me. The next day I ended up in the hospital for a week. If any of my friends right here had seen that more than once in 3 years, my friends, my sister would have come to me and they would have been concerned. You have gone around to everybody and talked to them.
How do you know I've gone around to everybody?
And you too.
Don't point your finger at me, Kim.
Oh my.
And you two asking where I've gone to treatment. Do I have a sponsor?
Well, we've asked you.
Hey, you asked me if I was okay, and I said
asked
I
you
am
if you were in
fine.
meetings.
And I told you on the plane,
Kim,
I am fine.
we care about you.
I'm concerned about you. First of all, let's not
supposed to
talk
be a
about
nice- this is supposed to be
excuse
nice.
me.
If you wanna start
I'm
with this and have
concerned
a nice
about you at your situation at home.
Oh my gosh.
You want to bring out my stuff? Let's talk about your home
Kim.
life. Excuse me, I'm not talking to you.
Well, I'm talking to
Excuse
you.
me,
We've
shame
all
on
talked
you.
about it. Shame on
I'm
you.
not talking to you.
And I'm talking
Shut
to
your
you.
f***ing mouth. I've had enough of you, you beast.
Beast?
Yeah.
How dare you?
How dare me?
You came into my home.
And I apologize.
Actually,
and in
you
3
didn't.
years,
Actually, you didn't.
I don't like you.
Guess what? I don't particularly like you either.
Good.
This is all getting laid out on the table here.
I never found one thing to like about you.
I did nothing.
From your hair to your face to your attitude.
I don't know where this hatred is coming from. It's pure evil.
You. Kyle, shut up. You should have said right from the beginning. In 3 years, I have been okay. I talked to him on the plane, and you're like this. What the f*** is that?
Act like this, Kim. You want me to defend you even though you're acting like that?
You know, I've never needed you to defend me because you've never have.
Kim, yes, I have.
She does defend you, Kim. She does defend you 1,000%.
She defends me more than you do. Kathy would not ever act like this. Kathy would have my back like a real sister. You have been doing this to me for years.
It's not okay to talk to your
You
sister
don't
or anyone
understand
like
it.
that.
You don't understand the relationship.
No,
with
I
my
don't, but
sister.
it's not okay to talk to anyone like that, Kim. It's just not okay. Your behavior's not okay.
Really?
Yeah, it's not okay.
Oh, she's gonna go off.
Fred, maybe you'll calm down a little.
Shame on you. You're disgusting, Kim.
Can I interfere 1 second? I understand your sensitivity because you've worked really hard for 3 years.
Lisa.
When I talked to her, she said, Yolanda, I've lost 2 brother-in-laws. My husband has only been sober for 3 years.
Oh, wait, excuse me? Did you just say let's talk about the
This is gonna now get into high gear here. Okay, so Miragon's is telegraphing this. Oh man. Now a line has been crossed. Now there's been a line in the sand drawn, and across this line, you do not. And now it's been crossed. Jeez. Okay.
Let's not talk about what you don't want out.
You know what?
You're
Let me
a
tell you
scary,
something. Don't
vicious
ever
human being.
don't touch
Just
my
saying.
husband.
Just
ever.
saying.
Don't you
ever. You don't want out.
Oh boy.
Everybody to know. You better watch what you talk about me, or everybody will know.
never
Everybody
go
will
near
know.
my husband.
Everybody will know.
You understand that?
Everybody
Never
will
go
know.
after my husband.
What you don't want.
Oh my goodness.
She lies about me, and all I said was I was going to tell the truth about her f***ing life. You want me to defend her? She's lying about me.
It would be so funny to work in the restaurant. The running away is high art. She did go for the choke. Yeah, she committed for a moment and then pulled back. She committed for a moment and then pulled back. That was outrageous. Now, I've never watched the show either. Crab Island, like this, I've engaged in some like ironic reality show watching in my day. Not really anytime recently though. I've never really had any interest in checking out the whole Real Housewives phenomenon. This is actually my first experience with it. This is the best show on television. I'm not kidding. So Miragons, you were laying it on a little thick with the whole Love Island stuff though. Saying like, oh, this is too outrageous for me. This is too, oh, turn this off. And then it's like, but turn on this other shit though. It's really good. Now we're going to get to the really good. You just wanted me to turn off Love Island to get to even more crazy reality TV stuff. Because that show sucks. Okay. So it wasn't like a conflict with like the direction mostly. It was more just the content. Okay. You got played. Usually my ironic watching focuses on The Bachelor, but it has sucked for a few years, so I stopped. Yeah. I mean, I used to really like Survivor, which is kind of different, obviously. I was a big Survivor head for a while. Survivor Season 2 back in the day I was really into that. I'm really dating myself now. Really dating myself. She made sure the party's over by breaking glass all over the dinner. Well, it's like we were saying earlier with the politics stuff. You got to commit. Like once you go, it's, you double down. You got to keep escalating. Survivor and Big Brothers are my faves. Do you think I could ever listen? What do I have? How many Twitter followers do I have here? Let me check. I'm gonna check how many Twitter followers I have. 93,000. Do you think seriously that if they were casting like a Survivor type show, if I applied, they'd have to give me a look at least, right? Just based on that alone. They would have to at least give it a look, like a second glance. Right? It wouldn't hurt it wouldn't hurt anything just to try to get on Survivor. For sure they would have to consider me. Especially Survivor would be amazing because I'm incapable of doing anything. When it comes to surviving outside, I would be coasting entirely on charisma alone. I would be contributing nothing else. Nothing. I'd be tired and miserable, immediately, cranky. And I would try to survive just purely on pure charisma alone. I don't think I'm going to be the naked guy. I don't think I would do that. Survivor Twitch rivals, unironically, that would be good. I must admit that would be extremely entertaining, and I'm not happy about admitting it. I take no pleasure in reporting this. Rob would hang back and be like, "Oh no, that's no good." When someone gets in an explosive fight, just taking the leftover rice, that would be my strategy. They would have to look at that though if I applied to one of these things. Come on. Rob radicalizes the nation by bringing class analysis to Survivor. That's it. It would be ridiculous, but I could sneak in some subversive ideas. This title's so long. Should I do my... reacting. Should I react to more stuff? I don't know. Or showcase your amazing British accent on Canada's Got Talent. I would immediately show up and they'd be like, this guy's not... You're supposed to be from Canada, sir. You're clearly from Britain. You're clearly from Britain, sir. You'd probably be the guy obsessed with finding the immunity idols. I don't even know how the show works anymore because I haven't watched in a long time. There's probably all kinds of weird rules and tricks that exist now that I'm not familiar with. And he could go off and have us bourgeois individualism and social cooperation is humanity's best evolutionary tool for survival. That's right. Thank you. I would be the first person to ever gain weight on the island. That's right. That would be my goal. That would be my goal. My goal would be to do as little as possible while still not making people mad at me. That would be my main thing. You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Fellow patriots, I am back, and unlike Boris Johnson or Miles Bridges, I respect women to the fullest, and I have intel that Kevin Durjudas isn't going to the Raptors.
Thank you very much, Coal Mine. Thank you for the 17 months of Tier 1 and all the intel you've brought us over the years, Coal Mine. we know another big women respecter in this community. Unfortunately, you are incorrect about Kevin Durant, though. You can both trust in Masai, Coal Mine. Masai is going to pull this off. Not a doubt in my mind. What's going on Survivor now? Like I haven't watched Survivor in a long time. I don't want to see just like an immunity challenge. I want to see some kind of like... I want to see some drama. What's this? Probst looks exactly the same still. This man looks exactly the same as he did like 20 years ago. KD or Barnes, you're not having both. Listen, Brooklyn will take Gary Trent Jr., OG Anunoby, 4 first-round picks, and they'll be happy to get it. How about that? How about that? You get OG, Gary Trent Jr., and 4 first-round picks, and you'll be and probably Kem Birch, and you'll be happy to have it. If it's like an airline, the pilot has a heart attack and Probst gets to the front of the plane. He's like, I will fly the plane. And they're like, do you know how to fly planes? He's absolutely not. No, I'm not. I've never done that before. He just has that confidence, though. That Probst confidence. When times are tough, you want this guy on your side. He's going to do a fucking tracheotomy to this guy right now. He's not breathing. Stand back with one of those pens. Little pen. Just jam it into his throat. Probst just does an emergency tracheotomy on Survivor. Come on. And I would trust him to do it. I would trust this man to do it. I would trust this man with my goddamn life. Michael fell into that was the big medical emergency on Survivor Season 2. When Michael got the smoke went in his face from the fire and he passed out and fell into the fire and burned his hands all up. And he was like the dad that was like the leader that knew how to do everything and knew how to build the camp and how to hunt and do all that stuff. And he passed out and burned and they had to airlift him out of there and he was off the show. It was very exciting. I might try to find that clip next. I'm sure Caleb was fine. Like it's evacuated. He Probst hanging at the door of the chopper, directing it off the island. I think that you need him in that spot. And I'm sure it cuts off before that, unfortunately. Damn. This still goes on. This is too much. I'm getting too emotional here. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Now let's go back. Us real Survivor heads might remember this. That wasn't the first. Caleb's wasn't the first medical evacuation off the Survivor Island. Oh no. Way back in Survivor Season 2. No, you didgeridoo didn't. All kinds of didgeridoo done. Wow, all kinds of
All kinds of didgeridoo themed puns there. All kinds of didgeridoo themed puns. Yeah, this is the girl from The View. That's right, G. Kleppy. Elizabeth Hasselbeck eventually became a conservative commentator on The View. She was replaced by Meghan McCain eventually. Well, that was fun. Everyone missing the clear one more shrimp on the Barbie joke. That was fun. Right? We can react to things sometimes. That's fun to do. I got about another 40 minutes. We're doing the cat scene now, Miragons. I mean, Miragons did gift 10 subs today now. Miragons gifted 10 subs. So I was going to move on from this, but if Miragon is going to insist that we watch we react to one more scene from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 2 of Taylor's breakdown at the beach house, I think it would be downright rude and disrespectful to not look at the clip. I think it would be downright rude and disrespectful. I'll not insist, but it's your choice. No. Oh my God, Michael's HTA, you're really dropping some breaking news in the chat. Michael's wiki page. I don't even want to know about this. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I've done this.
She was the catalyst to a lot that will haunt me, that could have hurt me, that can still hurt me very badly.
She was hysterical. When I spoke to her on the phone, I couldn't even hear what she was saying.
I'm still hysterical.
Okay, well, so is she. I know that.
All right, then have her. I know that. Apologize.
I've really never seen this. I've seen I've seen obviously the meme that comes from this scene many times. Many times. Which was in itself a reaction. It was a reaction image. And now here I am reacting to this iconic scene of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Season 2. It's very simulacra and simulacrum. And I'll leave it to everyone else to determine, to really dig into the critical theory side of things. I'll leave it to others to speculate on these kinds of higher, kind of more academic concepts.
With you. She's been calling you for days. She wants to apologize. She wants you guys to work it out. Not what she wants.
Not cool.
She got backed up against a wall, Taylor. You've been backed up against a wall, too.
She's not. Outside.
Taylor, that's not the way to conduct a discussion. But no, but ask nicely.
If you stare into the meme, does the meme stare back? Indeed.
I'm not in charge with her. I know I'm not in charge of
Okay,
her.
if she wants to speak to me, she can ask me to speak to me.
I realize that.
To me?
But why don't you guys just have a conversation?
Like you said outside. What's going on? Go ahead. No, if you would like to speak to me, you can do it on your own terms.
It's funny how they're all slurring too. Like alcohol is really an essential part of all this, isn't it?
No. When you're ready to talk to me. What? Chill out. Okay. No, you don't need to go there either. You need to have a conversation with her.
So, with absolutely no context whatsoever, I have no understanding of the backstory of any of this. It seems like this argument seems to be about like having a conversation, and it's like there seems to be some kind of disagreement about where and when and with whom this conversation needs to take place. It seems like they're together now, and they should just be talking about whatever needs to talk about
instead of speculating on these kind of conversation hypotheticals, which is just leading to more confrontation.
With the amount of wine that has been served, things are getting out of control and it's not helping.
They really just get them all wind up, don't they? Just got here. Is this where the screaming and pointing at a cat eating a salad meme is from? That's right. We're exploring the origins of that meme and reacting to it as part of our broader reality TV react content, which we're now doing regularly on this program, which is now a regular segment on this show.
No matter what we say to Taylor, she was kind of just already had made up her mind, and I saw her slowly going off the deep end.
Stop! No. Come here. Yes. Go. Taylor. You have to talk to her.
I know this could be easily cleared up had they had the opportunity to talk away from everybody else.
Just don't fall over the edge. I don't feel like somebody dying. No, Taylor. That's not funny. Taylor. That's not funny.
Talk to her.
She's out of control.
I care about you.
Going into pure evil mode. It seems like it, yeah. Some switch has flipped. You can't be day drunk on Chardonnay every day and not invite insane drama into your life. For sure.
Ocean, for God's sakes. I hate drama.
Do you? Is that true? That's profound.
And everybody's trying to
She seems angry.
down, and it seems like it just irritated her more.
Babe.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say.
Babe. This is a bizarre career choice for someone who, if I hated drama, I would try to avoid stuff like this personally. I would try to avoid situations exactly like this, and not just this situation, but agreeing to be on it. Because like when you agree to be on a reality show like that, you're knowingly signing up for situations precisely like this, right? So if you want to avoid drama, you probably want to avoid not just this exact situation, but like the whole TV show that you're currently starring on. I mean, that's something you want to steer away from, probably, I would say.
Come on, you guys. Really? I want to talk to her alone. I just don't want all these people around me. Let's leave you alone. Talk to her alone. I'm sick of it. I watched my friend for a year.
Uh-oh.
Going through so much. Be her friend. You be each other. I have been her friend. I have never hurt her. No, I have never hurt her. Take her phone. I have never hurt her. I'm sorry. No, but I'm sorry. What's up? You have no idea what she's done to me. You have no idea what she has done to you. Yes, I do. I do know. Yes, I do know, Taylor, because I know you don't. I'm out of here. I do. She's done to me. No, you don't.
Oh, goodness. That's a dangerous move. The hand over the mouth. That can go really bad.
All of us have problems. I know, but I don't need Camille's friends combating me. It's not fair. Then talk to Camille. It's not a combat unless you... I will talk to Camille and get her over here. Because it's not fair.
I don't know what they were fighting about, but if she wasn't there, this wouldn't...
I don't know either. I still don't know. I mean, you'd think that, like, you know, you want people that are watching the show for the first time to kind of have a basic understanding of, like, what is the general, like, storyline, right? And most, like, if this was, like, a TV show, which it is, right? It's like, it's reality TV. I mean, to a certain extent, they've steered things in a direction. I'm still not... As a viewer, I still don't know what... I have no idea what this is actually about. It seems like they just want the chaos. They just want the chaos and the drama, and all the context is just kind of, the less of that, the better.
And I just wanted it to be done.
Taylor, I'm going to ask you to leave my house. You should go. You should go.
Oh, now... Oh, my. Oh
like this.
my.
She went like Kyle touched me first.
Get the out! Stop leaving! Stop leaving! We're leaving! Stop!
At this point, there's no talking to Taylor. My concern is just getting her home and getting her safe.
Listen to me.
Stop, honey.
No, but she's not now. Not now. We have to get closer. Now. We're gonna get Taylor stuff. Okay. Seriously, because she's
Oh, she's going back in. This is risky.
now it's not finding her stuff other than that.
You guys are all embarrassing yourselves by being out of control. We are an evolved species.
Honey, where's your bag?
I have my bag.
We need to find your wrap. We need to find your wrap.
I don't need my wrap.
It's just bullshit. And she's gonna pull all the on you. And she's out there being the victim, and it's bull. You've been through enough hell. I sat in your bathroom today, and I heard what you said.
I know.
I am not gonna let it happen to you this year. I'm not.
Thank you.
I love you, and you have to know that I love you.
I know you love me. Dee Dee, I know you love me.
Let's go. Let's get out of here. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Goodness.
Taylor car. Done. Finished.
Okay, so I have to get this here. Miragon says Taylor's husband broke her jaw. Taylor was trying to talk about how her husband was bad to her without bringing up that fact. Then the psychic they invited was like, "You're being overdramatic. Fuck you." So what you're telling me, Miragons, now that you've provided the context, that this like scene, which has been condensed into this popular meme about like a hysterical woman screaming at a cat, the origin, what you're telling me is the origin of that is like a horrific story of domestic violence? Is that the takeaway? Is that what you're telling me? Okay. So that's actually horrifying then. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson that we've learned in reacting to this content. Is that our culture is deeply sick, deeply unwell. I think. Everything is secretly more awful than we assume. This is Western culture, and we wonder why China has the Great Firewall. I can't believe they don't want to have any of this going over there. I just can't believe it. Man, this reaction arc has really gone in the dark path now. I guess I don't know what I expected. We're reacting to reality show content. I said we want to learn get some kind of social understanding of what this says about our culture. And now I just feel bad. Now I just feel bad about myself. I feel bad for Smudge the cat being wrapped up in this horror story. Who knew gamifying every aspect of the human experience would be damaging to our collective psyche? Who knew? You have these women in Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You have them gamifying and monetizing their human experience to turn into content which enters this cultural sort of like melting pot, and all the context is stripped away to feed into this meme culture while ignoring all the horrible reality that animates a lot of these people and making light of serious issues. And turning these horrible, serious issues into this consumable content. And now here I am sitting at my desk, and I'm turning my whole existence, monetizing that, and turning all that into content, while consuming the other content and reacting to that, to you,
I don't know what's going on here, folks, but I don't like it. If we've learned something about our culture here, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like any of this. Have you gotten any subs since watching? No. Well, no, yes, I have. From Miragons and a few other gifted subs and Coal Mine. So a couple. You gotta pull back, your brain is going too hard. What the fuck are you talking about? Red Scare just showed up for some profound shit. Some profound shit. This is what I get when I try to introduce a new segment onto this show. This is what happens. This is what happens when I try to step outside of my comfort zone. People shouldn't be named Taylor, though. That could be an interesting takeaway as well. Yeah. At least we're all in this together. Okay, send me that Michael from Survivor Wikipedia page, HTA. What is with that? We came back in Survivor Philippines. Oh no. Do I dare click on the legal troubles? The legal troubles section of this. On February 23rd, Michael was arrested for multiple driving violations. Had 20 license suspensions since 1999. That's a lot of license suspensions. I don't even know how you do that. Was featured on Fox 2 Detroit's Hall of Shame. On February 5th, 2016, Michael was arrested with 6 counts of possession of child pornography after an investigation of a Ponzi scheme he made called Pay It Forward. On April 8th, Michael was in prison for breaking his bond agreement. On November 18th, Michael was found guilty of child pornography charges. Michael was released on parole on December 19th, 2017. Come on, Michael. Everything about that was so depressing and horrifying. The Pay It Forward Ponzi scheme. Was that your childhood hero? No, it was my childhood hero. I mean, I was like, I don't know how old I was when that came on. I was like 18. And I just remembered him being like the dad who could do everything, that burned his hands in the fire and got airlifted out of there. And I hadn't thought about him in the last 20 years, except today when he started talking about it. And another precious Michael lost to the evils of the world. Our precious Michaels are just dropping like fucking flies, aren't they? Jesus. Did not expect the React arc to end up here. Me neither. Seriously. I auditioned to be in season 2 when they were doing auditions in Philadelphia. Oh my god. Moist Outlets. That's what I don't know if you missed the beginning of the React arc, but that's the one season of Survivor that I was obsessed with, was season 2. The worm god is ascending into a being of pure reaction. And as I was this is what China has done to our Michaels. Sobbing and learning horrifying facts about the reality that you live in is indeed a reaction. I mean, it is. No, I was saying Moist Outlets, like when I was saying, like, to kick this off, was that I feel like I have enough followers on Twitter that if there was like a Survivor season and I applied for it, they would at least have to give me a look.
I've let Judy know we need to remove the Michael from Survivor poster from the studio. You're not supposed to tell them about that. Please. Let's take that off mic. Right? If I applied, they would have to at least take a look. They would have to give me a second look, for sure, right? They see the blue check on Twitter, they see the followers, they'd be like, oh, this guy's something. What we got here? I'm sure. Like, I don't know if I would make it on there, but this is a whole new React subgenre. Keep deep diving into a reaction till it turns into something harrowing. Yeah. We didn't approve this segment. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry. I apologize. Has Survivor ever had a professional streamer, podcaster, and Canadian? I don't think so. You know what else I could do? Maybe me and someone from the community could do Amazing Race. Amazing Race would be another one we could do. Hello, Rob. How goes it on this glorious day, bruv? Hello, Dr. Maggot. Welcome. It has been quite a day, hasn't it? Fosh and Rob. Amazing Race. God, that's what a cursed grouping of words that is. Mondo Michel. What a cursed grouping of words that is. Although I must admit, and I take no pleasure in reporting this, I must admit that would be great TV. There's simply no getting around that. Oh my, what a day. Folks, I've got to go in about 10 minutes. It has been a great day of content. It has been an enjoyable day. And a great week. And just a few generous chatters, folks, could get us closer to the sub goal. And remember, if you love this community, as I do, if you love the content, and you enjoy the show, and you enjoy this weird, wacky content, I had fun today reacting to all this stuff. It was kind of weird and different. There was a lot of ups and downs. And if you want to support this content, you can subscribe to the channel. You can gift subscriptions to the channel, get the emotes, join the community. Every little bit helps a lot. You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this. Good work down on the content farm. Thank you, Weenus. Thank you for the gifted sub, Weenus. I appreciate that. Thank you. You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle. Oh my gosh, Dr. Maggot. Dr. Maggot, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Highly appreciate that, Dr. Maggot. Thank you. If you ever want to see Rob reacts to Real Housewives again, you must subscribe. In all honesty, I would like to do another react to Real Housewives sometimes beyond just the big dramatic scenes. I would like to do a full segment. It felt a little crass. I gotta say, it felt a little crass and exploitative to just look at the really high drama, angry fights. I'd like to get a little bit deeper into this, which I will be doing on this ongoing segment. On TRRS, where I react to reality show content. This ongoing weekly segment on this program that now exists. Are there any scenes this is what I'm wondering, Decadun, are there any scenes that don't have a dark, hidden backstory? That's kind of what I'm interested in. That's more what I'm interested in, frankly. Maybe something a little lighter. Maybe we don't need to dive right into that real serious stuff right off the bat. Is there going to be a Geordie Shore arc? I think there's a Quebec reality show as well. No, of course there is. There's a Quebec Big Brother. There is a Quebec Big Brother. Folks, I know I only have 10 minutes to go. I watched Red Scary. I watched Joe Millionaire when it was on back in
2001 or whatever. When I first moved to Montreal, I watched every episode of Joe Millionaire. My girlfriend at the time really liked it and wanted to watch it all the time. Folks, I know I said I had to go in just a few minutes. but did you know that there's a Quebec version of famous reality TV show Big Brother? Did you know that? There is. There's also Big Brother Canada. I could probably if we're talking about Survivor, I could probably get on Big Brother Canada, like easy. Like if I email Big Brother Canada, they're probably day of like getting back to me on that.
Faut se méfier des
D'à peu près 3-4 secondes que j'allais l'avoir pratiquement. Oui, je suis déçue, mais je me dis que la prochaine fois va être la bonne.
I could get on this.
Ça m'a attisé un peu, là, parce que
Andy.
j'aurais voulu gagner, mais je pensais pas que...
Ben là, c'est Andy.
Moins que ça, là. Il était capable de ramasser la boule, mais il m'a manqué un tour, moi.
J'aime paraître no profile. J'aime que le monde me prenne pas au sérieux. Et c'est pour ça que j'aurais aimé mieux pas gagner tout de suite. J'aurais aimé mieux
Christian.
être en arrière, en backup. Mais c'est plus fort que moi quand je joue.
Look at that tie. Look at that cravate.
Je joue pour gagner, puis je peux être un joueur très redoutable, puis je vais performer dans n'importe quoi.
Félicitations.
Ouais, être premier, je marque l'histoire.
Vous pouvez maintenant entrer dans votre maison.
Uh-oh. Here they go. The worst reality show is the one where the contestants were terrible, but everyone pretended they were talented singers. I never saw that one.
C'est un cadre, en fait, propice à la détente.
C'est assez together.
C'est certain que le lieu qui est très impersonnel, c'est la chambre à coucher. On peut comme rouler. Ah ouais. 12, 13, 14, il en manque un.
J'ai hâte de voir qu'est-ce que ça va donner qu'on soit aussi proche, toute la gang. Donc, ça risque d'être très intéressant.
Oh, ça va être tellement intéressant, ça, avec toute la gang. Oh my gosh. Well, we're just going to have to return to that high drama next time. On va retourner de la drama de Big Brother Québec à la prochaine épisode. How about that? There's a Chinese reality show where they put a bunch of comedians in a room and they each donate like $10K to a pot of money and whoever laughs first is eliminated. Well, I know my friend Jay Baruchel just hosted a show like that on Amazon. They did that exact thing. It's like a reality show that Jay hosted and it's all comedians just trying to make each other laugh. Last one laughing, yeah. Was it Japanese? I didn't know. I just remember hearing about the one from this year. It's on Prime. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll check it out. Definitely recommend you check this out, Dr. Maggot. You're gonna highly suggest it to me. Well, I highly suggest it to you. How about that? That's a book. That's right. What did I miss? Oh, nothing much. We just talked about like politics. We talked about like politics and the news. Talked about politics and the news and all that stuff today, and kind of tried to learn some lessons about society. That kind of stuff. That's mostly what we did today. Say gobbledygook before you leave. Gobbledygook. That's a really funny thing that some of you folks were talking about the word gobbledygook and telling me that you're saying you were going to make me say it. And I tweeted the word gobbledygook. Like, how would you plan that? Like, that's an amazing coincidence. And I tweeted the word I tweet with the word gobbledygook in it at that exact moment. We've got a thing that's called radar love. We're just on the same wavelength, folks. We're on the same wavelength. All right? It's meant to be. You understand? It's meant to be this. That should prove it to you more than anything. How could you ever... that word, of all the words, of all the silly words, gobbledygook, is that we both independently came to. What is that? What is with that? You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this. Thank you for Progressive Canuck. Thank you for the gifted sub, Progressive Canuck. I appreciate that. Thanks. And folks, we're so close to the sub goal. Right? It's so close to the sub goal. Silver Age, I hope you're doing okay. I had a cardiologist visit today. I hope you're all right. Sounds kind of scary. Folks, we're so close to the sub goal. Wouldn't that be a fun cap? Wouldn't that be a great cap? Wouldn't that be a great way to end the stream? We watch the same stuff. I know here I picked the word up. Like I was saying in the Discord, I just gobbledygook. I have like a character that I did to make my kids laugh. Where I'd say Edgar Gobbledygook. It's like the British guy, right? And that was my go-to like fake British name. And then we were joking around about fake British names, so I threw that out there. But I changed Huxley, Lord Huxley Gobbledygook. Yes, that's why. You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle. Dakadoon. Dakadoon. You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this. Dakadoon, thank you very much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you. I appreciate that. Very kind of you, Dakadoon. Thank you. And thanks Dr. Maggot as well for gifting a sub to Silver Age 64. Thank you, Dr. Maggot. Wonderful. Wonderful. There we go. Have you reacted to this yet? What is this? Undercover in Guyana exposing Chinese business in South America. Oh, man. Did that just come out today? Our friends in Vice News are at it again, folks. Our friends in Vice News are up to some of their old shenanigans. Look at this. Undercover in Guyana exposing Chinese business in South America. Our radical, subversive friends in Vice are doing another hit piece on an official state enemy of the United States and promoting a pro-U.S. State Department line to their like hipstery young audience of like cool progressives. What a shocker. They're up to their old tricks again. Really sticking it to the man. That's right. Vice is really sticking it to the man. We gotta expose the evils of the Belt and Road Initiative. That's what Vice needs to do. Oh my God, Rob. When I got in my boss's car today, he was watching Morning Joe on his phone. He had Kissinger on. I nearly had a stroke. Jesus Christ. Well, that's what we were talking about Kissinger earlier, Red Scary, as well. And Ambigubot, I actually would like to react to this, but not now because I have to go pick up my kid from camp. But thanks for sending that because I would like to actually watch that. I always enjoy taking a look at the sort of the hipstery imperialist propaganda that Vice likes to put out there. Whether they're whitewashing like extremists in Libya or Syria or Ukraine or trying to undermine China's Belt and Road Initiative, basically doing the bidding of the United States national security establishment, intelligence community, or Cuba, going behind the enemy lines in Cuba. Ooh, oh no. Ooh. You're telling me you're helping people in South America instead of overthrowing the governments? That sounds pretty sus to me. That's right. Why, for fuck's sake, is Kissinger still alive? Well, even I was saying earlier that when Kissinger does finally die, I will be, on that day, popping a bottle of champagne on this very program, and we will have a toast together to celebrate that day. Folks, I'm one sub away here. Is there one more generous chatter that can get us to the goal?
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Goodness, Ambigubot, thank you for the gifted sub to Hot Meat. Very kind of you. Thank you.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk.
Oh my goodness, then Miragons as well. Thank you, Miragons. That's unnecessary. Unnecessary, but thank you. Thank you for the gifted sub and for all your support today. Even if you steered the channel into this weird, bizarre direction, single-handedly, it's ruined now. Just like throw all my stuff. I don't do that enough, like sweep a bunch of stuff off of desks. I don't do that enough. That's a power move. Throwing over desks. When I'm in Real Housewives of Quebec, I will be doing that. Vice's drugs content makes me think this conspiracies about the deep state spreading drugs among would-be activists are true. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. There's a lot about Vice that makes me think deep state conspiracies are true. I didn't get it, thank you. Rib doesn't love me. Thank you, full stop, Terry. Okay. No, it actually did not go through. I was like, what did I not thank full stop Terry for? But you know what? That's the kind of gregarious guy that I am. Is that if someone says like, hey, you forgot to thank me, I'm just going to do it rather than investigate like why that might be. Because that's what I'm about. All right, those are my values.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
It hasn't been said yet, but eat your oats, people.
Thank you, Quaker Oats Guy. Thank you very much. 9 months of tier 1 from Quaker Oats Guy. Thank you very much, Quaker Oats Guy.